All right.
Do over.
That'd be a good idea.
I'm not going to do that whole thing again, but
Perception check to see if I'm spotting anything.
okay.
Nope.
Your mother is not there. No, she's not. Okay, so an 11 perception roll. Oh, that's not good. Is everybody connected to
you're
roll
sitting in a
20?
room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems to
I mean,
be.
I still see our tokens. I don't see like the town.
I just got on the one computer. I just got a whatchamacallit, error message saying that disconnected from the server. So I just want to
Uh-oh.
make sure that everybody else.
Well, I'm gonna refresh then, I guess, just in case.
You'd get an error, a big red banner across the top of your screen, your browser
Okay.
window.
No.
If
Yeah.
that was the case. Okay, so having bunked down pretty early, you take that early watch, and don't really hear much of anything in the night. The wind is blowing outside. There is a steady breeze, but it's certainly not any kind of gale outside. And you are pretty alert for anything that you might hear, being as it's the difficulty in sleeping this night. But you don't really, nothing really sets off or comes to mind as you sit and you pass that first shift.
Did we sign double watches or single?
It's
Yeah, Winzera's
Dodvin,
with me.
Winzera, and then it's Roanoke and Thea. I can roll for her if you guys would like.
I would prefer if you did than one of us.
Well, I gotta because of her things. Yeah, I gotta do it on her sheet.
Right. Yeah.
Helps to open the correct sheet.
A little bit.
Sweet.
Yeah. You kind of you hear the wind. You don't really pick up anything. It doesn't seem to be anybody out and moving about. So everything seems okay, and I'm constantly getting this connection to the server interrupted. Error message, guys. I apologize.
No.
That sucks.
It does say.
Yeah. The die roll worked over here, so I'm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just
I'm
see what
wondering what's
happens.
happening.
Yeah, we'll just see what
Yeah.
happens. We'll keep going with it. All right, so you guys wake up Roanoke and Thea.
Yep. And everything's been quiet so far.
So tired.
Can I just sleep in, Mom?
Don't-
Oh, where am I?
Don't hesitate to wake us if there's trouble.
So cold.
Do you need an extra bedroll or something?
No, I'm fine. I'm just whining. Don't pay attention to me. Mm. All right. Okay. Guard time.
All right, so give me perceptions from each of you.
All right.
Perception.
That is a 15 for me.
Nice.
Nice. 19 for Roanoke. Nice. Nice.
Very nice.
Cool. All right.
Bless you.
Isn't tight?
Thank you.
Sometime probably halfway through each of your watch there, the two of you paying attention and kind of looking about, you kind of can hear through the window this far off kind of almost like a squawk. but it comes to you sort of on the wind. You know, it's this kind of distant. And looking out the window, you kind of see where the moon is still kind of glowing. You can see the aurora starting to fing, and just in front of the aurora, there's a large shadow. As it moves across the sky, the aurora seems to follow behind it until it passes over and out of sight on the horizon. And now the aurora is kind of waving across the entirety of the horizon.
Have I experienced anything like that on the tundra?
In the last several years,
Yeah.
you might have.
And
um,
it's the Frostmaiden.
yeah, it's.
I just wanted to see if there was anything else.
No, it's pretty much you're sure that after years of seeing this now and you out on the night spent on the tundra, this is the Frost Maiden, her nightly sortie across the sky on the back of her rock.
Joy.
But
Well,
other than that, you don't.
we don't have no fire. We're doing what you said. She was checking on us. She was making sure we were sacrificing.
Other than that, your watch moves across without sound. You don't hear or see anyone on the street in the time that you're making your watch.
Okay. Wake up the next one.
Yeah.
Filbert, you take over, and
Alright.
being
We
your
had, we had. I'm sorry.
no, that's okay.
I was gonna say we had decided Henrik needed to sleep. So.
Correct. Yeah. So I was gonna say Henrik is with his 5 charisma snoring away like a lumberjack over there. For some reason, it especially grates on the nerves. Just that nasally quality to his snoring is just enough to really.
Like it'll stop, and you're like, he's done, and then all of a sudden,
With renewed vigor.
So go ahead and give a 1 perception for your.
That's a 15.
Okay.
Sweet.
Towards the end of it, you actually, Filbert, you hear actual people movement out on the street, and kind of going to the window and looking down both ways. You see a fairly steady stream of folks moving towards the docks as the fishermen for the day get an early start. And you see a large amount of folks heading out, which would have been surprising to you, except with the whole darkness all the time, it's kind of hard to tell. But it'd still be what would normally be around 5 a.m. Or 6 a.m., very early for full darkness. But this group going out, probably 20, 25 different people moving off towards in the direction that you came from the docks, carrying various fishing poles, nets, and whatnot, making it pretty clear what they're out and about doing. But other than that,
Okay.
after the course of about half an hour of this movement, the streets again go quiet and settle back down. And you're able to finish out the end of your watch without any further incident. You guys get the benefit of a long rest. The body heat and cuddling together like that underneath your various piles of cloaks and whatnot are able to suffice enough to give you a full night's rest. And Henrik, you now
Sweet.
are back 1 level of exhaustion
Yep, down to
as
one.
such.
Yay!
Ooh,
Yay!
One more night and I will be not exhausted.
Okay.
It's a beautiful new day.
Huh? What? Huh? What?
Doing my salute to the sun.
Son, where?
It's there. I salute to it. I know it's there. Just have faith. Just because I can't see Lathander doesn't mean he's not there. Same with the sun.
I agree. Um. No, wait.
So
I'll
what's our-
sit up and. Well, I'm hungry. Snag my book. I'm going to get something to eat.
Hope you had a
I'll
nice.
join you. That's fair. Oh, what's that? House of the Morning Lord.
What's on tap for today? What do we have on our to try to do list?
Well, wait for the merchant to arrive. That's one. What else did we have?
See.
Yet again.
Did our what?
Bringing this Ammon tour. What an amateur.
It's just the same guy, different name.
I know.
We have that Brendan Shaw guy to look up. The new guy that came to town and sketchy.
Right.
I think that's just about it. Besides waiting for that vendor person to show up.
Torga Icewind.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it's food time.
Yeah.
Although I'm sad that we didn't really find anybody else that had been sporting some icicle necklaces.
I kind of thought anybody sporting icicle necklaces might show up in the night to address us asking about them. That was my hope, but
Well, maybe there'll be new people wearing icicle necklaces this morning, since the Frostmaiden did pass over the town last night.
oh, did she? How terrifying.
Certainly wasn't pleasant.
Did our lovely innkeeper survive the night when we go down to get food and whatnot?
Yes. Yeah,
Fine.
as you,
Just checking. Just
yeah,
checking.
coming down to the common room, you see Kara moving about. Absolutely. There are 1 or 2 other individuals staying in the inn. One of which is currently down there eating a breakfast. Cora keeps kind of buzzing around him and taking care. She sees you and gives you a kind of a half smile and a wave. And why would you sit anywhere? No formalities here.
Certainly. What about our new resident? The new person at the inn. Anything notable about them?
I don't know that they're new, but you haven't seen him before.
Right, that's what I meant.
Kind of an elderly gentleman, human, very lined skin, even though the sun hasn't been out in 2 years, he still almost looks like he had kind of some kind of a tan, almost like it's been kind of cooked into his skin from so many years out spent in the elements.
Yep.
As he's spooning his gruel or porridge or whatever it is that he's eating into his mouth, you can see that there's more gaps than actual teeth.
I sit with our compatriots.
I sit there, I have my spell book open, kind of shoving food in my mouth while I'm going over spells.
Very good.
Yeah.
Studying my book.
The only question I have for the innkeeper is when she comes over, I do ask her, any trouble in the night with the town? Did anybody not make the sacrifice properly?
Oh well, I certainly hope not. I haven't heard anything, but it is early, and I haven't left the inn. Sure enough, I'm sure that the buzz would be fast and furious if someone had broken with the sacrifice. Certainly.
Indeed.
Sorry, John. I'm just noticing how many of my notes you missed. I don't know what's going on.
What did I miss?
All of them.
No, like I've got pretty much everything in there in party notes. Session notes is just for the today's session. And then if you go into party notes, you go by city, it'll have notes pertaining to each city.
Oh, okay. I was under 10 towns looking for notes. And I see. Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, there's links when you're in 10 towns. If you go to each city, it'll have a link to notes at the bottom of each city, which takes you to the notes for that particular city. But
got it. Okay, my bad.
You guys need to save your lovers' quarrels for offline.
I know that we should probably go talk to Sarah again. Just this, I mean, that would be the person who would know if something happened last night regarding the sacrifice.
I wasn't trying to start us down a path. I just was, keeping flavor and being curious as my character would be.
So, she brings out platters with, hot porridge for you. There's cinnamon, steaming mugs of what looks to be hot tea of some kind. And as she sets them, I trust that you all made it through without too much discomfort. Terrible night to be under my roof. Goodness green, I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault.
It was fine.
Oh, you're very kind. You're very kind, and I do apologize for my going on and on about my problems to you last night. That's certainly nothing anyone needs to hear.
Not true. It's always good to share when something's burdening you.
Indeed. The burdens are less when they share the load.
Indeed.
You're both very holy people, clearly. So, what do your plans for the day?
Well, I suppose we're gonna go see a couple people around town and...
Do you need directions to anything?
But do you know where Brendan Shaw is?
we already know where he's at.
Oh, okay. That's right.
I already know where he's at. We can use the place he's been staying is over by the docks.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yep.
Oh, I think we're fine. Thank you.
Oh, most excellent. I know you were looking for someone at some point. Who was it again? Who you're looking for?
Isn't everybody
We were
always
hoping-
looking for someone at some point?
That's true. No, we were hoping the merchant would appear in town.
Torga.
Oh, that's right. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Well, should be any day now, I'd imagine. The wolf banner, right? Yes, that's the wolf banner.
Yeah.
Well, if she does, she usually sets up on the far side of the. You've been to the town hall, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just past the town hall's kind of going towards the north. She usually sets up in the open area, just for the north, to the north end of town, on the other side of the Five Tavern Center.
Splendid. Thank you.
Least I could do.
Well, I think as soon as the mage is ready, maybe we should head off.
I agree.
I mean, we can go whenever. I'm just studying, and I've already got my spells prepared. I'm just going over a few things, working on a couple more spells. But we can. I'm ready to go whenever.
Do there happen to be any temples in town, or are all of them pretty much shuttered right now, Cora?
Oh, well, Bremen wouldn't be what you would call the most pious of towns. People keep their religion and their way, I should think, but no dedicated temples to any of the gods, and certainly right now, no, you wouldn't see much of that.
I figured. I just thought I would
Yeah.
ask.
It's a good question.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
Off we go.
That's tango. Lady Cora.
All right. So, lead the way, Hendrik. Mr. I know where he's at.
No, okay. It's over here. It's over by the docks. It's kind of where by where we killed those yetis,
Oh.
if I remember correctly.
All right, so show me where you're heading.
There's the three places, the three buildings right in front of the docks, and it should be the middle one.
Okay. You know how to ping, right? Like that?
No, I do not.
You click on it and hold the click down. There you
There.
Ah. Okay.
There.
go. It will do the same color as your die and yada yada yada.
Splendid.
Oh Lord. Okay.
We're
Okay,
the adventurers of adventuring.
So bundling all up, you guys start to head down through the city. Excuse me, the town. City would be a little bit grandiose. You're well bundled and covered, so the wind here isn't biting too badly at you. You see a few people out on the street, actually. It's only noticeable because you're used to like not seeing anybody out on the street. And in fact, as you start to move towards the center of the town, passing the what used to maybe be a well or a fountain of some sort that's now just a big block of ice inside of a round enclosure, you actually you had two different people look over and wave at you.
Aye.
That's suspicious.
Morning, citizens.
They are still bundled all up, so you don't really necessarily make out anything other than the wave.
It was a fudgy. And the Yeti thing. And the Yeti thing.
You guys make it over towards the large building without much difficulty. You see that there is looks to be a warehouse level. It's a 2-story building. All 3 of these larger structures near the docks are 2-story buildings with, it looks like, some types of residential units above warehouse space on the main floor. It's very mixed use, very green.
Well, Faerun's really got to worry about those carbon emissions. So.
That's why you're having a never-ending winter. I mean, come on.
You don't know how much exhaust the Frostmaiden gives off when she flies across the sky.
Those fucking
Why do you
dragons, man.
What do you think there's a... What do you think
Gaseous
blocked out the
emissions from
sun?
Dragons.
Looking up, you can see that there's probably there's 3 units with stairs going up on the outside of the building, on the backside to each. Looks like all 3 of these buildings are somewhat similar, except the very northern one, the one furthest towards the edge of town, appears to be less residential. That one actually looks to be like some kind of business or something else is going on up there, as you and clearly see multiple people going in and out, coming from the docks, going to the docks, to
Let's go see what's up there.
this one.
Yeah. Busy day in the city, in the town.
Right? Let's see what's going on.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the new fudgy tourist visitor
Association.
center.
Yeah. Jeez, Visitor Fudgies Association. There's got to be a good acronym there somewhere, but
Okay. So, what are we doing, kids?
Looks like we're investigating what you just described.
Yeah, you wanted to talk to Sarah, so lead the way.
No.
Okay,
We skipped
this is the
Sarah.
Brendan Shaw guy. This is the guy
Yeah.
that recently arrived to town, kind of shifty, and people don't really trust him.
Yeah,
Yep.
but maybe he's running a business because we see people coming in and out doing business. So we'll see what's up in there first.
Just to clarify, this is the place that you said you wanted to go look for Brendan Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I'm saying the top floor seems to have a lot of activity and people coming in and out of. Not the same building.
Oh,
The middle one is, and the first one, like I said, were more warehouse on the bottom, with looks like each of them had 3 units above. The far one, warehouse, but up top it seems to be more open, one big space with a lot of people moving in and out.
well, up to you guys. You want to go find Brennan first, or check
Yeah,
out
let's
Busy
stick
Building?
with our main plan.
Sounds
Yeah.
good. So we're just gonna go trompsing in there, or
I think we should just ask politely. Excuse me, have you seen?
Yeah, I mean, we should probably find out which unit he's in. We know what building it is, but he said I guess there's 3 units there, so it might be good to maybe see if anybody knows which unit might be his before we go knocking on somebody's door.
hi, are you Brendan Shaw?
you have a moment to talk about my Lord and Savior, Lathander?
We get a lot of doors slammed on us.
Oh, that's so.
No, I do not worship Lathander.
What? Why not?
Give it a few sessions, he'll be worshiping Lathander. All right, let's go. Who's
Yeah.
who knows where we're going? Who's taking
is there
point?
anybody around that we might that seems to be around here that we could ask?
Roll perception.
He's not thought of highly. Why? Awesome.
9.
My passive perception is higher than that.
Damn.
That's a burn.
I found some snow.
Wow.
There's some ice over there.
Let's build a snowman. We can make him out of snow. And we can make him.
There's a building there.
You sure you know where you're going?
So it looks to be okay. So you can see that there are 3 different stairs that go up to these units, right? It looks as if one of them has clearly there has not been any traffic going up and down them at all. There's snow, kind of drifted. As any of us who lived in snow, I'm sorry for the Florida guys if you don't know what this looks like.
It's white. It's wet. It's
Well, no, please.
I mean, I'm
It's
from
where-
Detroit.
where
I know what
it's-
snow
where
looks like.
Alrighty, where it kind of drifts up into the corners of each step, and where it's been for a while, and you can see that the wind has kind of blown it down, but you don't see any kind of steps or any evidence that anybody's actually been up and down this in several days since the last snowfall. The one in the middle has been tried upon, and the one closest to the center of town has been shoveled. That's what you can tell from 9. You don't see necessarily anybody on the street in the general vicinity. There are people, however, on the far side of the building near the docks. You can see people on the docks and whatnot over there.
Well, I'd say we should go to the one that's been shoveled.
It's certainly the good choice.
What do you think?
Sure, sounds like a good plan. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he may shovel, he may not. He may
let's
be the one
find out.
who's just trying to
Let's
walk.
just find out.
It's a
I know this is a
50-50 shot.
I know this is a real neck head scratcher, but let's go ask. Let's go find it.
It's
Yeah.
a 50-50 shot.
All right.
It's a
so
big mission of the day. Did you shovel?
knocking on the door. After a moment, the door cracks just a little bit. You can see who's knocking on the door.
I give Hendrik a little nudge forward.
Yeah, the -6 charisma guy.
I'll knock
The
on the
6
door.
charisma guy that has disadvantage to
Yeah.
all ability checks. That's the guy you want.
Yep.
That's the guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either that or the paladin. I mean, I can, but I mean, I'm not very.
So just help me, Joe, for a second. I'm looking over my notes because unfortunately I didn't have a chance to review the online stuff. Why were we looking for this guy? He's moved to town and people are suspicious of him, but I don't remember why. So I was just taking a step back to try to catch up. So if you want me knocking on the door, give me a 2-second rundown.
Okay. It's we don't necessarily know any specifics, other than he came to the town around the same time it seems like it was like sometime around the same time that the speaker's mind started slipping.
Okay.
Around that same time period, and people don't trust him because they just don't. I don't. Nobody would really give us specifics on why. They just seem like seems like he's a little off or something,
Okay.
from what I gathered.
Okay. So, like, sure, I'll just ask for him then. But why? Like,
Does somebody
No,
else want to
I
take?
want to see.
If Hendrik
yeah,
wants to
please,
do it,
somebody else.
yeah, do it,
Yeah,
Hendrik.
let him do it.
I mean, fails are fun
Okay.
too.
It's
So
pretty much
knocking
guaranteed.
on the door, you see that this kind of, it's a pretty stout wooden secured thing, and so it's solid as you knock on it. The door cracks just a little bit. You can see immediately from behind. There's a glow. There's some firelight coming from inside, but there's just enough of a crack. You see kind of two eyes looking out at you. Yes. What do you want?
Are you Brendan?
I'm. Maybe. Well, who are you?
Oh, my name's Hendrik. I just wanted to ask a few questions.
It's like looking in the
That's
mirror.
all.
Questions about what? I'm a very private man. Please, thank you.
Okay. Well, I heard you recently came to town from Targos. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I was just, well, people seem to be a little leery of you, so I was
Who's leery of me? Who said that?
I don't remember. It was a couple people said that they're
This is going so well.
I don't know. They're just not very. You seem a little off to them. So it's just we wanted to see.
I seem off.
I don't know. I'm just going by what I'm told.
I go over to him. I put my hands around Hendrik and I say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. We got the wrong door."
What? This is Brendan.
I am Brendan, and I'd like to know who's saying these things.
Were we looking for Brandon?
Shaw.
So at this point, do me a favor, Henrik, give me a persuasion at disadvantage, right? Because you're exhaustion.
Yep.
And give me a deception. and conversely, Roanoke, give me a deception.
This might be just as bad.
That was actually pretty good, his persuasion.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So
This is going to be overtime for the DM.
So with that, he kind of opens the door up a little bit. He's indignant about. I would like to hear. Wait, it's the wrong door. So wait, you're not talking about. I'm very confused right now.
Have you heard about Fudgy?
Fudgy. I don't. Listen, it's very cold out here. Would you mind coming in just for a moment, then, please?
God, you never asked. Yes.
So you all kind of troops all in.
Yeah. Thank you for welcoming us in, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks.
As when Zero walks by him, she, oh hi, and bear hugs his leg. This is a very strange morning. Yes, I must say, the strangest I've ever had, but it's been frightfully boring here. But I'd like to know who's saying these things about me, if I could know, please.
To be honest with you, it's I don't know the names. We've just recently got to town ourselves. I haven't. We've just been asking around about a few things that seem a little off to us, like the speaker losing his mind and things, and we're waiting on a merchant to get here ourselves. So, and people said that there's been a couple people, not a lot. We haven't talked to everybody in town, obviously, but couple people steered us towards you. If there was because they feel as though they're not quite as trusting of you. I guess maybe it's just because you're a newcomer. I don't know.
Well, I keep to myself. Little yokels of Bremen, they talk. Certainly not one of the bigger towns like Targos or Brinsander, I'm sure. But that's no reason to besmirch a man. I've done nothing wrong to these people. I just decided to leave Targos, that's all.
Is there any reason? Seems a little odd to come to a little town like this from Targos. It just seems a little odd. I think that's a big part of it is the fact that you came from Targos and they don't understand why you come here.
Does he seem to be on the level?
Yeah, he's not telling you everything.
Yeah.
You know, but he's not as shifty as,
Does he seem like actually offended that the people or town are talking smack about him? Or is he like
not quite as offended as almost a little hurt and doesn't like that, It's kind of like, frustrated by it.
Well,
like,
everybody
listen.
talks in these tiny towns.
You'd think they'd have better things to talk about. I heard we almost all got eaten by Yetis yesterday. Did you hear this?
Yes! We helped kill all the Yetis. That was us.
Oh, well, thank you. I bet you they love you then. I guess I owe you a thanks as well. Why they don't have a wall like a sensible town,
A wall. What a great idea.
Yeah, right? They got time enough to besmirch a man's honor. They got time enough to build a wall, I say.
So what did bring you to this tiny town in the middle of nowhere? I mean, I understand the charms of a small town being from a small town in 10 towns myself, but coming from Targos,
All right, give me one more persuasion. Let's see.
Yeah. This is me now, so let's see how that does.
And actually, I was about to tell you to do it with advantage since you're the heroes of saving his life from Yeti.
Okay. I'll roll it one more time. And no.
Wow, a 3 and a 4.
We just barged into this guy's house, insulted him. Now we're continually annoying him. We're gonna get kicked out real quick.
We killed those Yetis. You should be
Well, in fairness, and I will say with your 17 insight, one of the things you did pick up is that he is definitely frightfully bored and is actually kind of grateful for some kind of interaction.
Did you hear about Fudgy, the lake monster? Well, he's really cool.
You don't say.
Yeah.
I did not come here. Well, I'll tell you what. Did you participate in the sacrifice last night?
Well, hell no.
Yeah.
Of course we
Yeah,
did.
but it was cold and we slept.
It is cold.
That's the sacrifice. Oh, okay.
Yes. Now, I came from Targos. Do you know what they do to people in Targos
Oh, that's
for the sacrifice?
Well, then it makes much more sense.
Well, a little bit of a night's sleep lost or your life.
That does make sense.
You do the math.
Doesn't sound
Throw-
suspicious to me at all.
Apparently,
Can I throw a
unless
disadvantaged insight at that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Apparently, unless you got the money.
11 and 11.
As soon as she says that, even with your 11, you see the quick dart glance at her before he catches himself, and this look of mistrust that he then smooths over. I certainly wouldn't know anything about that.
Oh, I'm not alluding that you do. I've just heard some things, you know.
Yes, well, um,
I kind
well,
of wonder if I was on that list, if I'd do the same thing.
I guess one will never know until put to it, won't they? Bad bit of business, that.
That is true. I got one more question for you. Have you ever seen anywhere around town here this symbol? And I flip out the little sketch of the Arcane Brotherhood symbol. Because I seem to have found one carving of this, and I'm just trying to see if I can figure out more about it.
He takes it and he looks at it. You know, I can't say that I really have. No.
Insight on that for certain.
Same.
Yeah. Anyone who wants to.
Oh, god dang it. Dang it.
Hard to read.
Wait. Ah!
We're all doing great. Oh, come on.
No.
Let me try my disadvantaged one.
All right. So the high was Filbert with a 12.
Yeah.
Filbert, being probably the quietest and taking in the whole thing from the sidelines there. He seems pretty sincere, actually, about that. Filbert, you kind of get the feeling that he's just glad of the change of topic, and is being pretty straight up about it.
Okay.
No, is it something I should know? Do you know what it is?
No,
or-
I'm trying to find more info on it. I saw it on the bridge coming into town, so I'm just trying to get more info on it myself.
Yes, well, I've just been bundled up and keeping a low profile. Apparently that's a crime around here, but yes. Thank you for letting me know that they all hate me. That's certainly made my morning.
I think that's part of the problem is the fact that you do keep to yourself so much. So they think maybe you ran from something in Targos.
Ah. Yes, I can see where they might.
I'd like to survey his interior.
So maybe
and see if,
maybe
while
piece
we're
of
all having
advice-
this conversation.
Sure.
And,
piece of advice is maybe talk to a few more people.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Roanoke, go ahead and give me an investigation as you're kind of looking about.
All right.
Nice.
Okay. You're 19.
16, 19.
Roanoke, it's clear that the furnishings and the furs on the floor and across the bed, the bit of silver candelabras and whatnot, showing a little bit more refinement and wealth than you've seen in other parts so far of Bremen. Certainly, what you would not outrageous for if you were in Brynstander, a wealthier merchant or whatnot from one of the larger towns, maybe East Haven or Targos. But it's notable here. There's a polar bear rug on the floor. He's burning wood in the fire, which at times is a bit of a luxury. So yeah, but certainly nothing else though really stands out as out of place.
Brendan, Brendan, excuse me. What is it that you do? We're always looking for work. I imagine most people are.
Well, I've recently retired. I sold my business. I ran a rather large chandler's shop. I and felt it was time to enjoy the rest of my life instead of the
Can
daily
I incite
grind.
that as well?
Hmm.
No, fudge.
Hard to read.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
Thea, this
Nice.
you feel like that was a you know that felt heartfelt what he just said.
All right. Finally.
Yeah, I would say maybe talk to a few more people in town a little more often, and they might be less leery of you.
Hmm.
Well, maybe we should
You're
keep
like
this
the
gentleman.
nicest fellow. I'm so hurt that that you've gotten such a poor reputation in town. And if it would help you at all, I'd love to have some dinner with you in the local tavern, and maybe some of our goodwill could rub off on you. Because
Hmm.
you seem like a solid fellow.
And perhaps I'll see you there.
Maybe we've taken enough of your time.
Maybe you
Perhaps we
have.
should be going.
Let's be with you.
Very good. Thank you for stopping, and
Don't come back.
I'll see you when I see you.
So,
Okay.
Frostmaiden, bye!
If we are leaving on our way out, I just want to look back before I walk out and say, if there's anything that you need, quietly say to him, if there's anything you need, just come and find us. And I leave.
Okay.
Alright,
And out we go.
what I want to do is kind of walk around town and see if I can find any more. See if I can find any other places that might have carvings of the Arcane Brotherhood in it anywhere, like along, like door frames or on poles or anything.
Can
Alright.
can I make a quick suggestion since we're over here before you wander over the entire town? Because is not where the merchant's setting up, is it not on the northern edge of town here, but it's over to the west of here, or is it right up here near where we are now?
She
I
just
remember
said
it was
that they.
north of one.
Yeah,
Where she would
it's
set up, I think it would be like right around there, right?
no,
Is what you were saying, or up here?
no. She just said on the
Oh,
northern
up
part
there.
of town. She
Oh, up
didn't
there.
say
Okay.
specifically, which way here. It could be anywhere. She just said on the northern edge of town.
Okay, I remember the northern edge. Yeah, I'm not going to be terribly helpful in your search for tiny little carvings. I'm not the keenest eyed amongst us, but I can certainly spot when a merchant is setting up. So,
Well, as
You
you
know,
walk down the stairs, let's just start with that.
okay.
There you're seeing more and more activity. You're seeing noticeably people coming in from the docks with large poles strung between them as they walk, with knucklehead trout hanging off of them.
Business is
People
booming
seem to
again.
be in very big, in very good positive moods. You hear almost, camaraderie and happiness, if you will, between these people on the docks and whatnot. And you can see them steadily kind of taking in from these ships these strung up knucklehead as they carry them into the lower parts of these buildings.
Maybe we can see how business is going with the dwarf.
Yeah, I'd like to see if we can find the dwarf on the dock and ask him if being nice to Fudgy is paid off.
I bet you he's set up where we saw those people coming in and out.
So where are you going?
the other building where we saw the people come in and out? I bet you that's got something to do with that.
What was his name? Man, I have his name.
His name was Barry Gresnig.
No.
Thank you.
Grinsk
No?
Barrelbore.
What?
Grinsk
You were so close.
Barrel bore.
That's so weird. How did I get that so wrong? Grin.
Chardonnay.
Barrel.
I'd say Chardonnay, but
Yangalange.
there you go.
Drink wine.
So yeah, let's go see if we can spot him. If we can't, then we'll talk to a fisherman.
All right, just as you guys go, you make out very quickly. You can see Grinsk. He's on the ground floor of this building, and you can see him overseeing the placement and the hanging of these the catches. Their catches as they come in, and he's paying off individual fishermen as they bring them in their catch, and he is purchasing them from them. And they're being hung from the rafters of this kind of open warehouse kind of type floor. You don't see too many that were already there in a different section, but already this morning you see well over. How many do you see? 30, almost 33 of them have already been hung up from the rafters. Some of them varying different sizes, but all quite big.
Well, I hope that's a percentage to Fudgy.
Yeah. Today was a good day on the water, Grinst. It looks like you've got quite a business happening today.
Not bad at all. Hello, my friends.
Hello.
Oh, monster tamers. God love ya.
So
Does
is
anybody,
Fudgy didn't bother you at all on the waters today? None of your men were harassed?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. In fact, there was 2 sightings. They were very kind to the beastie. He was very kind to them. He even brought them, told them where to go to bring in this haul. Will you look at it? Best haul we've had in a month. And then the morning after, a sacrifice nonetheless. Maybe that old frosty bitch will leave us alone for a minute or 2.
Maybe.
Delighted with the news.
Don't be telling anybody I said that.
Said what?
Exactly. Mum's the word. Mum's the word.
Well, that's fantastic.
It is. It is a fine day. A fine catch. The merchants are in town today. It's a good thing. Money in people's pockets. They can go spend it. Be for a happier town, I tell you.
Well, the merchants have arrived today?
Hey, yes. Was told that one of the traveling merchants is recently set up just this morning.
Ah.
Fantastic. Indeed, a good day.
Yeah, if you excuse me, I got quite a bit of work to do here.
We'll see you again, friend. Enjoy.
Indeed.
And he's already back off. Don't put that there, you fucking lubber. Get that over here. Back to his grumpy, still yelling self.
All right.
Well, I'm glad he confirmed what we were going to go check out next, I thought, but
Yep.
Now, is this up here like the like a big manor or something on the hill?
Could be. You can just kind of
we
see
could
it. It's on a slight incline, yes.
we could go awkwardly ask the resident if they're hated in town.
That worked before.
All right, let's do it.
That old chestnut.
So how are we going to approach the merchant? What's the plan here?
I have
This
no
is
idea.
Donovan and Joe asking. Yeah.
No, this
I
was
mean-
on you guys. I didn't. This
Well,
is before I joined the.
Why don't
the
we
group here.
establish first? So, for those of us who are memory challenged, why we're pursuing this for everybody's sake.
Torga has been in town every time one of the mysterious ice dagger murders happens.
Yep.
And
we were hired by the lady with the scar, the former adventurer, to find the murderers, and she had a theory that it might be Torga. And I think there was some personal animosity between her and Torga as well, which may have fueled that particular thought
Okay,
line.
I have a minor suggestion. I know I might be going out on a limb here, but I think that the wizard should not speak when we talk to her.
I agree.
So it was Hlyn Trollbane. That was the name of the dwarf who set you on this path.
You are the most intelligent of this group, I say to the wizard. I say, what we need is your silence and observation, and then report back what you've seen that we might have missed after we go and encounter her.
Indeed.
That sounds good enough.
Didn't even have to roll.
All right.
So, are we going to do the play of seeing if she has one of these shards that she's wearing to begin with, or where she has in general?
Why don't we just check out what she has to sell, make some small talk, and just observe what we can, and and report back with each other. Let's just see what we find. We're looking to uncover information, but we don't have to go out there. We could use a rapier as opposed to a two-handed axe.
What does that mean?
Delicate touch sometimes is what he's saying.
Oh.
which means I'm not the one that's going to be doing it. I'm just throwing these things out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
This way, you said?
You guys kind of
up.
Yeah, you guys figured that, as you walk towards the end of this.
I thought it was like around here or around here.
No, we actually
in that-
literally just said 5 minutes ago that it was the opposite way.
I was close.
Yeah, sorry. You leave the warehouse area and you head up north to that open area, and it's pretty quick to see that being that it's on the it's open and whatnot. You see that there's actually a little bit of it looks like a smaller abode that used to be there. Used to be a residence that no longer is. You can see that the windows are kind of open and the roof is a little bit patchy. But in front of that, there seems to be set up a temporary market. And flapping in the breeze, you see a banner.
Sweet. Looks like something we were looking for.
Yep.
Is it the wolf banner?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, approaching, you see a couple things straight away.
Oh, there's the wolf banner.
Near the shore, and this little structure, it's around your smaller structure. You see that there have been set up a couple of almost temporary booths with windbreaks, and the goods have been actually spread out and displayed in crates in these windbreaks. You see three wagons. They're really very large dog sleds that have been kind of unloaded and pushed to a side in a kind of a circle. And inside of this, what's the word I'm looking for? You know what the wagons? What did they used to do when they put them in a circle? What was that called? Uh, God. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
within this kind of circle made with a triangle made by these super large dog sleds, you can hear even from a distance the yapping and the kind of the barking of a host of sled dogs that have been kind of the teams of them are now within this area. And you see walking up a few individuals. You see a smaller, shorter rather, dwarf. She's not small by any means, as she's very wide of shoulder. Dark-haired, with salt and pepper kind of gray in it, and she actually has an eye patch on one eye. Wearing a black leather jacket that you see with a even black fur around the top of her hood, standing in front of her goods. She's currently in the process of talking with a couple of people from Town, from Bremen, doing some kind of trade. You see two large, burly, appears maybe human, it's hard to tell with their cold weather gear, lugging crates over, still in the process of bringing them from the sled area over to these set up booths that they have set up here in the snow. You see a third of these burly guys is already over at the far booth, organizing. And then you see an individual standing behind the dwarf. He appears to be a human. You see that he's got probably middle-aged years. But the thing that strikes you is that he is not wearing any coat.
What?
He appears to be in regular shirt sleeves at the moment, standing behind her. Kind of in a defensive kind of stance and a kind of stance. He has a bit of a kind of a darker olive complexion. And his hair is pulled back into a ponytail. But that's the thing that you notice most about him. He's wearing a kind of a rather stylish vest and shirt, but he's not wearing a heavy coat like everyone else is.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with that guy.
Yeah.
Well, let's go browse some wares.
Yeah.
Do they look like they're still setting up? You said so they're not open.
She's already doing a trade with some, but they're for the most part everything is out there. You can see that they're bringing out the last little bit of goods are being brought out to the various spots.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look for shiny thing.
Yeah, I want to check out what she's got for sale.
Yeah, I'm curious what she's got.
Okay.
So what's what you got?
Well, you can kind of see mostly it's what you would expect. Anything that's pretty much most of the things in the player's handbook.
Okay.
General goods that you would see. You see some cold weather gear. You see things like nails, some building materials, hammers. You see some foodstuffs, mostly dried, hardtack, oats, that type of thing. You see bales of heavy woolen fabrics, but also some clothing items. You see some things that are clearly used, especially like these short swords and daggers. They look like they might have seen some use, although they've been cleaned up. It's generally a wide array of various goods. It's surprising how much of it there is and how much of a storefront it's actually been set up outside, until you look at the size of these dog sleds and the fact that each of them probably takes 8 dogs to pull. That there's quite a bit of, they clearly brought quite a bit of merchandise.
If there's nothing we want to buy, we should try to sell this tiny scimitar and maybe a backpack, and then maybe we could pique her interest, but not sell our goblin horn, not made by goblins.
Lead the way, young lady. Lead the way. I was going to ask a question.
What? Okay.
Before interrogation, if you're planning on selling stuff, I'd probably do.
No, not an interrogation. So I will walk up to her and wait, and just stand patiently for her to finish her, stand at a polite distance, wait for her to finish, and step in when she's done with her trade.
Okay.
I'll try to observe and listen in while I'm checking out what they have in display.
I'm guessing she probably wouldn't have any. I probably wouldn't see any spell scrolls. I probably have to ask if they have scrolls at all of any kind.
I'll just stand there fumbling with a 2 copper pieces in my hand, and I say, I'm just curious. You have been on the roads a fair bit, it seems, as the traveling merchant everyone is talking about. I was just wondering, I haven't been back to Tourmaline in quite a while. Do you have any news from up that way? I know it's unconventional, but I'm just curious. Figured you might know something.
Certainly. Let me just finish up with these fine people here. Don't you go nowhere, Cher. I'll be right with you now.
Sorry,
right
Mickey.
there.
I thought you had indicated she was done.
Oh no, I just was finishing up. I'm trying to figure something out here. Having a little.
Yep.
I'm vamping a moment too. I'm trying to
Yeah.
roll 20 to do something that it's really funny me on.
So yeah, I figured you guys can ask whatever questions you want. I'm gonna ask the things that are not gonna get a failed insight check on my part or anything along those lines.
Like, hey, Torga, how come people don't like you? Did you have anything to do with the ice murder?
Yeah, people
Who's
are
your
saying.
beefy, unclothed man over there, Torga?
Yeah, that's a decision. That's a direction. That's,
Well, it's one way to go.
Sounds like a great plan.
So, Tourmaline, you say?
Yes, I've got family up there, and I'm just, checking in on home if there's any news from the area.
It certainly wasn't. We haven't been through Tourmaline in a little bit. Seems all was well. I think that as when it was several days back, I think we were in Tourmaline. I think they were having some problems with their mine.
Oh. Like, what sort of problems, if I may ask?
I don't know. I seem to recall that there was some grumblings about some kind of infestation or something. That the miners didn't want to go to work, and they were refusing work. Something along those lines.
Oh, that's a shame.
Somebody writing that one down?
Yep,
Yeah.
I got it.
And I hope you didn't see any of those awful Yetis on the road that we attacked the village last night.
No, I did not see any, excuse me. You attacked the village yesterday, you say? I had
Yep,
not heard
late
that.
last
No,
night.
we arrived, as a matter of fact, late last night. Terrible business. Oh, I'm glad that we missed that.
Just in time. Just in time.
Well, I think my boys would have kept us safe. She kind of nods
look
to
very
the
capable.
very large. They are that, yes.
Well, I will.
Although
I will put
the
a-
quiet one here, he doesn't look like much, but
Yeah, he
he's
did.
handy to be around.
Looks can be deceiving, and I'll nod politely at him, and I will put my 2 copper down and thank you for the information, and I'll continue browsing the wares and stay within, audio range of whatever anybody else in the party is going to do.
Look, do you have spell scrolls at all?
Those would be very valuable. So let me look to see what I have from that kind of standpoint. Give me just a moment. She goes to dig around. Just so happens that I might do just have a scroll of arcane background. Although they don't come cheap, as you well know.
Yes, I understand that. I'm just curious. Obviously, I am a man of the arcane arts, and it's always fun to see wares, and if I can afford them, I grab them. But
Well, she pulls out a kind of a chest, lockbox chest, and taking out a key, she opens it up. She kind of positions it so as she lifts the lid, you can't see into the chest, and she kind of roots around a little bit. And she pulls out what looks to be a kind of a scroll case, hard scroll case. That is has a red ribbon tied around it. She says, a very useful spell to one of your persuasion, especially in these parts. This here fireball scroll is worth more than its weight in gold.
yeah, I'm actually working on that spell myself in my spell book. Have some scribblings where I'm trying to come up with.
Yes, that's all very
mastering
interesting.
that
So, do
myself.
you want the damn scroll or not?
Unfortunately, it's a little above my casting ability at this point, so I'd have to pass on that.
You hear
for
a
today.
loud
I
smack
do
as
apologize.
she throws this thing and locks and like
Didn't
almost
even
by
ask
magic it
how much.
disappears.
Gotta ask how much at least.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything that you
It
do
would be-
want, or are you here to waste more of my time?
What would you think of a horn like this?
She takes it from you. Mm-hmm. Looks to be like some kind of signal horn. Some nice work done here. Not too shabby. I'd give you. You looking to sell this?
I was thinking about it.
I might be able to see my way to giving you 5 silver pieces for that.
Look at the scripture on this. And I tell you what, we took this off of some crazy goblins who were riding polar bears.
Yes,
There was
that's
something going on.
very fascinating. Very fascinating. You know what? I think the more upon consideration that I would give you 5 silver pieces for that.
I understand.
The
Thanks for your time.
the ponytail guy behind actually now has crossed his hands across his chest, and you kind of hear him snort at that one.
I put it back in my robes. I'm like,
Well, you seem to do a lot of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish. I'm sorry.
that's pretty much it. I was like, okay.
You do a lot of purchasing. What are some of the hot items that you look to acquire for your business in case we come across any?
How do you mean come across?
Well, traveling between towns.
We're adventurers.
Looking through murdered bodies, you might find something.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I do believe that is one of the better places to find reasonably priced merchandise.
Yes.
Well, scavenging can sometimes have its benefits.
There you go, guys. And I walk away and I start going back to like another stall. Precision like a rapier, you said, Roanoke.
Sure.
Well, we're always looking to acquire reasonably priced goods that could be turned around. I am a merchant after all, among other things, of course, but that is my primary business.
Nice.
Didn't I chuckle and continue looking through his stuff?
Is there anything particular that you're looking to outfit?
Well, I had something nice, but you said it wasn't very nice, so.
I thought it was quite nice and worth 5 silvers to me.
I believe we got a. Didn't we get a that scroll that we got? That's not really that animal friendship scroll or something that we got from that guy. That might be worth something.
Go ahead and
wanted to
hawk
buy
it.
something special from him.
Go hawk it.
Yeah.
I don't have it. Just I know we got one.
Who has
I
it?
don't have it though.
Who has the animal friendship scroll?
Not me.
Did we give it to Winzira?
That's a good question.
If
'Cause
we
it's
gave it
not-
to Winzera, maybe we shouldn't sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not in the party loot, so I must have given it to someone.
And did we didn't get her name, did we? I mean, I know that we know her name, but we didn't get it in the conversation.
No.
Okay. So you travel about all of 10 towns, I hear. Have you heard any stories, any interesting tales,
I hear lots of things.
any good rumors?
Possibly.
I put a
But-
silver piece on the table.
I hear many things. I'd be happy to share something if there's something specific, a type of information you're looking for.
Well, maybe you can join us at some point in the tavern when business is closed, and share us with some of your tales. Please look us up.
Perhaps. I tend to stay by my goods in the evening. That's why we've set up here. This abandoned little cottage we'll fix up and we'll spend nights there for the next 2 nights while we stay here in Bremen for the next few days.
You don't revel when you work hard, apparently, just like everyone else, I'm sure.
Yes, well, I like to stay near my goods. I'm not what you'd call a trusting woman.
Hmm.
Did you hear about Did you hear about what's going on in Dugan's Hole? That's I'm not sure if you've been through there. That's my hometown.
Ooh, Dugan's Hole. It's been a while since I've been through Dugan's Hole. Last I was through there was not much going on in Dugan's Hole. I think all 12 of them tend to lay low, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, 11 now that she's gone.
Right.
Well, I thought they perhaps had a baker's dozen. And you being the baker's daughter, I presume? But no, and jesting aside, really, not much going on in Dugan's Hole. At least, it's been a while since we've been there. Several weeks. Don't do a lot of business there. There's not much coin in a town so small.
Yeah.
Do you have any breastplates in your armor inventory?
I do, yes, actually. Where's my thing? Yeah, so she digs through a little bit. She calls over, Lawrence, come over here and lift up this thing here. Lift up this heavy piece for me. One of the larger guys, big, long, bushy beard, grown. Okay, you're still good. See him kind of move up and bends over to lift up this heavy piece. And doing so, and I'm not going to bother with the whispers and all that. So, with your passive perception being as high as it is there, as he goes to bend over, you can
Faye
see...
is actually AFK.
Okay.
It looks like Dobbin's also AFK.
Ooh.
That's a party foul.
Well, she's in the bathroom. I can do it toilet flush. So.
Okay.
That was a successful stealth check if I ever saw one.
Hang on, I got to send something. I know, I didn't even notice. Is she back?
Not yet. I hear her stomping across the house, though.
Okay.
She'll be back there in just a second. There she is.
And that's how Thea died?
Yeah. Meteor right out of the sky.
Listen. She got mad and walked off. She was like,
well,
"Made fun of my town."
if that's the case, then you didn't see what I was about to tell you. You saw.
No. Sorry, I had to pee.
That's okay. Looking over as this burly individual who she summoned moves this large, one of the large crates off of another so that she can get into it. As he bends over, you can see that he's actually quite armed. You see a blade underneath his cloak there, and you can see what appears to be some kind of a crossbow strapped to his back as he's doing that. So these are clearly not just...
They're not to be messed with.
They're
helping hands. She pulls out a breastplate, actually. She kind of buffs at it a little bit. You can see that... as you can see that this is a lovely piece. Very good, very fine workmanship. Here, I'll even let you take a look at it. And she hands it to you, Roanoke.
I hold it in my hands. Of course, I look with marvel.
Go ahead and give an
Uh,
investigation, and I'll see how much of it.
See if
what you
there's
can see.
any stab holes in it.
Dried blood, or
I'm enamored with the fact that there's this sturdy piece of armor that I've never seen before.
Yeah, it appears to be made out of some kind of metal. That's very clear to you. However, even with your 9, it is obvious that there has been is big dent in one side of it that had been pounded out. It's it's pretty much back, but you can see it's hard to disguise the repair that's been done to it. It's a lovely piece, and I'm sure it would look fantastic on you for the meager sum of 1,200 gold pieces. And as she smiles, you can see really, really bad teeth. And over her and her, she kind of gives you this grin that's kind of more yellow and black than anything else.
1,200. You said 1,200 gold pieces.
Yes, a very reasonable price.
I gently, very carefully place it back down on the table and back away and give a very slight bow, and then move off to listening territory because I have to go and take a bio break. I'll be back.
Yeah, we can all take a break if everybody needs one. We can take our break till 9. Does that work?
I gotta pee.
Cool.
Anyway, so that sounds good.
All right.
What are we
so, all right.
Just
We're
try
back.
to nonchalantly do it.
We're back.
Wait.
we're back
Did you
now.
Unpause? Did you
Huh?
unpause?
I just did.
What
All right.
I missed?
So we're back, and to remind you guys, if you're watching this later, Henrik has decided to just cast detect magic on the merchant's gear. And
What?
So,
Well, no, I was gonna turn around and kind of try to nonchalantly do it, and just
Okay.
just step back and peruse.
give
Not-
me
not
a
really get
give
up
me
and
a,
into
a
the
s-
stuff.
okay. So give me a stealth roll.
Shit.
With you're still got a
This
little
will be
bit of the
good.
shake, so it's at disadvantage. Remember, because all of your ability checks are at disadvantage.
Oh,
hey,
All
not so
right.
bad.
could be worse.
Okay. Shit. All right. That's
Didn't suck.
my life difficult. All right. So you kind of make the motions, and with your back turned.
And I'm not gonna get up close. I'm just gonna stay within like 30 or so feet of it and just kind of like gaze around it.
All right. Well.
And then and specifically looking at that breastplate, I wanted to see if that's because at that price, I'm guessing it has to be magic.
No, it's just overpriced.
We have been told she overcharges.
All right, so looking at the goods and whatnot, you're not getting much of a sense of anything coming off of the goods that she's shown you so far. You're unable to really see inside some of the chests, specifically that one that she pulled the scroll out of.
Yeah.
You're not able to see anything coming off of that. And then as you kind of gaze over people, give me a perception. Again, at disadvantage.
Wow,
Oh, sweet!
nice. Just disproving the theory that the odds will catch up with you.
It's totally cool. And let me do something back.
Wow.
You just Forrest Gumped it.
So, as you are moving over and casting your gaze about, kind of trying to be nonchalantly and not doing a terrible job of it, your gaze kind of goes over this individual who's not wearing a coat. And you kind of get this wavering aura about him, kind of fades in and out. That's somewhat magical, but you can tell your gaze is drawn to the scabbard at his side, and that's giving off a strong aura of magic.
While he's doing all this, I'm gonna say, I've been like poking at stuff this whole time, and I'd be like, I was literally looking for something shiny, and I'm gonna say, I was at the inn, and there was this kid, and he was wearing this black shiny necklace, and it was so pretty, and I was hoping that I could find something like that here.
Okay. A black what?
It was like a pendant, like it was like black, and it kind of looked like an icicle, but it was really shiny.
But it was black, you say?
Yeah. Could have been made of onyx, or I don't know.
Yeah. What would you be wanting with something like that, young lady?
I don't know. It just looked so pretty.
Roll deception.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I was waiting.
Come on, dice.
Yes!
Wow.
Okay.
20.
Wow. we are definitely beating the odds.
Yeah.
This is all going to come crashing down soon.
I don't deal in that particular type of black ice that you're talking about. I do know what you mean, though. I do indeed. But that's not something I would be involved with. If you're looking for something like that, then I could probably tell you where it is. Certainly for a small remuneration, I could tell you where you could find such a thing.
It's ice? Well, surely it must be magic then. I thought it was some kind of stone.
Do you want to know where it is or not, there, Sugar Lips?
Well, of course I do.
Then give me 5 silver and I'll tell you where it is, where you might find such a piece of ice.
Done and done.
Should just give her the horn.
Seriously, right? That's a great idea. Why don't you trade that horn?
I would do that.
No, I'm keeping it. No, I'm keeping it.
I think that if you go searching for black ice in Cad Dinnerville, you'll find what you're looking for.
So they sell jewelry there?
Let's just say that there are those who trade in that type of thing.
Jewelry?
Where is this again?
The black ice.
It's one of the two. It's one of the castles to the east of
gotcha.
here.
Thank you.
Henrik, as you are looking at the coatless individual, he notices you looking at him, and his gaze focuses in on you. And it is impossible for you not to see how blue his eyes are. Almost unnaturally blue.
Salute.
I just nod at him and keep looking around, avert my gaze from him.
Mickey, I'm going to walk over towards where the bodyguard is standing, like stand across the table from him or the
Sure.
crates or boxes or whatever. I'm just going to kind of like stare him down for a minute.
Okay.
Or stare up at him for a minute.
Yeah, you would be
And,
looking.
when-
You'd be looking up.
When he kind of shifts his gaze down at me, I'll just kind of give him a sneer and say, Need an extra bodyguard around here?
Looking at him, he looks you down. It looks down at you, being that not so much out of disrespect, but just because you're a bit shorter. He seems to eye you up, and kind of very. He speaks very softly, backwards to you. That's up to Torga. Just watch your back. That's all. Just watch your back. And he kind of gives you this kind of half grin as he looks down at you.
Who watches her friend?
Well, I certainly don't want that job.
Little man, you couldn't handle that job.
I don't disagree with you.
Oh, I do like you, little one. You're a good sort.
You said that he was giving off
Suffolk, they want to go drinking. You like to go drinking. Maybe Suffolk here will join you for drinks if that's what you're so inclined for.
What's the name of that place that we went to last time? I'd say to the rest of the group.
I don't know.
It's one of the
5 taverns.
Yeah.
What was the tavern we were at last time? Nobody remembers. Wow, we really tied one on.
Well, no,
Well,
we all kind of went to different ones.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
we all kinda
that's
went to different ones.
you all went to different ones. So
You're looking for information.
Roanoke, you were at the Stones.
Okay. What kind of a place was the Stones? Please refresh my memory.
Dive.
Dive?
Yeah, they're all kind of dives.
Okay.
The answer to that for each one will be dive.
Dive. Okay. So the Stones. So I'm like, we'll be at the Stones tonight.
Is the guy that Torga was speaking to, was that the bodyguard or one of the other?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They're the one. He's the one that stands. He's right there with her. The other ones seem to be more of like, porters. More of the physical. You haven't seen him carry anything. He just stands there, kind of looking menacing.
I'll look back up at him and say, yeah, come have a drink. We can talk about watching backs.
Perhaps I shall. I always do like a good drink. Perhaps
Well,
I
we've taken
shall.
enough of your time.
Now, you said he's letting off some sort of magical type aura. Like, is it like a illusionary magical aura, or?
The one that comes in and out, you're not getting. It's just this faintest kind of, and you're almost. If it happened just the once, you'd think you misread it, but it's happened a couple times. But the one that's coming off of his the sword that he carries at the long sword that is in the sheath is strong conjuration. That's your no doubt about that.
Okay.
So this stuff is all too expensive for us. Why don't we?
Just what I was saying. Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
don't we get going?
we're good.
Torga, if you want to join us too, we can talk about where to find good stuff on discarded bodies, and I just turn and walk away.
Okay. Well, if you're not going to be buying anything, then I'll say goodbye. This damn wind is going through me now, and I like a little bit of shelter.
Have a good day, ma'am.
Thanks for the info on the jewelry.
Walk away.
Okay.
When we get about 100 feet away, I want to look at the rest of the party. Was she wearing the necklace? Did anybody see?
No, I didn't want to look at her too long.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that her bodyguard's got got a fairly strong magical weapon on its side. That's for sure.
I don't know. I think she doesn't mess with those people. I think perhaps our perception was wrong about her. I think she's got her own shady stuff going on, but doesn't really want to mess with those guys. In my opinion.
I think you're right. I think based on her reaction,
Yeah.
she maybe has just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. And we weren't hired to frame her or anything like that. We were hired to find out who's responsible. So if we can
Right.
mark her off the list, that's one step in the right direction.
I'm sure she's completely innocent. Let's find out when we go and drink tonight with her bodyguard. Maybe
she's innocent.
maybe he'll loosen his lips after a few drinks, and who knows? I like the direction that Filbert is going.
Yeah, because I don't really think she's extremely innocent, but I think because we already know she's got a kind of racketeering protection type thing going on.
I wasn't being serious.
But I don't necessarily think she's involved with these murders because she was pretty taken aback, and I did a pretty good job of lying, if I do say so myself.
I believe you.
Yeah.
What do we have on our list that we can take care of right now, other than?
I don't think there's much else
last in town, other than why there's these creepy symbols.
The marks. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we could try to see if maybe we can find any more symbols around town, but I think maybe we should try to convene then when the sun goes down for after hours, and maybe if this guy shows up, we'll learn a little bit more.
Yeah, but
if anything, we could always just get a room for him and Filbert. They seem to be getting along really well.
But other than that, I think we could probably. I mean, I know you guys had a hard on for this druid.
What?
This hard on you speak of.
First of all, I'm amazed that you were actually noticing that we had them, but I didn't. I think that we'd have to travel to go find the druid.
I've got some pretty loose robes. It'd be hard to see mine.
We have to travel no matter what our next destination is. The theory was, what's our next choice? I know you want to go to Dugan's Hole. There was reason to go to Tourmaline and Lonelywood. It's just a question of what are the next 2 or 3 steps for us, because it's silly to go to both Dugan's Hole and Lonelywood as our 2 destinations. I'm fine with going to Dugan's Hole.
I wasn't meaning about where we're going to go travel next. I meant within where we are now. What else do we have to do here?
There's really nothing else in Bremen.
Yeah.
Except for the mark.
Yeah.
So the only thing else is look to see if we can find some more Arcane Brotherhood marks.
So why don't we spend the remaining time?
We should stick around to see if anyone gets murdered while Torga is here.
Right. I'm not saying that we should leave. Point. That's exactly where I was going. Maybe we should go in and spend the rest of our time between now and nightfall and see if we can find those marks, because that seems to be what Henrik is really interested in. And then let's go to the tavern and see what we can find from this guy. If anything comes up and somebody's murdered,
I think it would be wise to send Winzira with Henrik while maybe the more drinking of us.
Oh, that's right. Winzira never showed.
Yeah, not yet.
She's around.
Well, I mean, we've still got plenty of daylight before drinking time.
There's daylight.
No daylight here.
Question,
This place is terrible.
It's actually you're getting to the point where point where there is a bit of daylight now. It is approaching noon.
I kind of like it with the dimness.
I do have one question. Do we remember when the 3 other murders took place?
Good question.
Were they at night? Were they, when I say night, I mean not 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is dark. I mean night, or do we have any of that information?
people weren't out and about. They were always discovered.
The next morning, sort of thing.
Yeah, as far as I remember. But of course, it's all in these big cities where everybody just kind of keeps their head down and hustles from, from place to place.
Yeah.
But my general feeling from the what we were told was that they were discovered the next day, it was at a tavern, or one of them was I think in the middle of town or right outside of town or something like that. So
Do we know if the merchant lady was in town with when the fisherman, the lady that owned the fishing boat and all that in Targos was killed on the docks?
that's what
We
we
were
were told.
told, yeah, that she was in town during all three.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why she was a person of interest.
Yes.
Well, do we want to be so overt as to try to shadow her from a distance? See what she does when the thing closes, or should we just see what happens tonight?
I'm not sneaky.
I'm not sneaky at all.
Neither am I.
Could be a job for me and you, Filbert.
Yeah.
But do we want to split up? I don't think we want to split up, do we?
Why not?
Why not?
Scared?
I mean, I do understand the mechanic, and Mish, I do understand the mechanic of not wanting to split up, but at times it makes sense. I mean, you don't want the Goliath clanking around with his negative on stealth.
I
That's
was
just
I was asking that completely in game, but I get where you're
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
No,
When Zira's pretty stealthy. I'm pretty good at not being seen when I don't want to be.
All right. Well, what do you guys suggest?
So,
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea for at least one of us to keep an eye on her. After everything closes.
I'm happily will go with Henrik to look around town and see if we can spot any more signs etched into the walls and whatnot. I'd like to go feed my bird. And
is that what they call it?
Well, the axe beak. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Don't be nasty, Mitch.
after. I was just choosing to walk right past that one.
Yeah. I figured if I didn't if I didn't acknowledge it, he was going to do it again.
It was right there. If you keep using it,
Yeah, and my I'll wait at after I help Henrik. Where do we want to meet? Where's our destination point for meeting?
We're going to the stones.
Yeah, the stones.
Okay.
I am going to go to the stones way ahead of everybody else because she is quite enjoying the attention and the
free booze.
Yeah, and the fame.
And the free booze.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, that was us. That was
All right.
us.
So, are you guys going to have Winzira stay outside and watch the...
I think Winzira would be the great choice, especially because is it Filbert who struck it up with the monk maybe guy?
Bodyguard?
Yeah, that guy.
The back watcher?
Yeah. He likes it. He likes watching it from behind.
And you're complaining about me?
I wasn't complaining. I was acknowledging, actually.
Okay, never mind.
I don't know, because I think definitely whoever it was that was making friends with him should be at the pub too. But
Well, yeah, but that's still hours away.
true. Well, just take my character out. You guys split up, do what you're doing.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna.
All right, so Winzira got a 24 on her stealth with a natural 20.
Nice.
Sweet. Go
So,
Winzira.
That helps.
I can hang around the quote-unquote marketplace as well.
Okay.
And just see if I notice anybody talking at length with Torga, or if she goes off somewhere.
Yeah,
And try and tail her for a little bit.
And you see that there are, there are trees and whatnot along the edge of where she set up that you guys are.
That.
Yeah, you guys are able to kind of get to find places that you can kind of remain out of sight if you chose to.
I am a pine climber.
You are a pine climber. Go ahead and give a stealth.
Nope.
Oh my God! You roll 1 after she rolls a 20.
Oh wait, I re-roll ones.
Yeah,
I
you
re-roll
do.
ones because
Yeah, you
I am a
do.
halfling.
Oh, thank God.
Oh,
Right, that's better.
significantly. All right. So, all right. So you're kind of watching them. You see throughout the day individuals coming in, making some purchases. You hear some arguments about some of the prices, even from the distance that you are. You can hear kind of people bitching about how expensive, but mostly it's general goods that are being passed over. You don't see any kind of high ticket items. You see some furs being purchased. A couple of fishermen come in, and you can see them trading for large jugs of fish oil, whale oil rather. That's been used in a lot of the lanterns and stoves that you've seen. You see several bottles of wine being purchased. As well. Give me a history check, Filbert.
Okay. It's a 15.
That's it. That was what you needed. While you're doing all this, and it's been kind of nagging at you a little bit, part of it kind of clicks for you. The clothes that the bodyguard is wearing, it's a similar style to what is worn by mariners of the southern Sword Coast.
Okay. So the clothing starts to ring a bell, but the face doesn't fall into place anywhere.
Well, it's tickled you, but you're not exactly sure where you've seen him before. But you now can recognize the clothing. Why that was familiar to you. Sailors and whatnot that wore that type of style down south, and not just we're talking like Baldur's Gate kind of south. So far out of character for way up here. But in your travels, you have seen this before.
Okay.
Let me just see if Winzira picks up anything. All right. So the time passes, and you start to see them throughout your day. You maybe munch on some rations while you're there to kind of, but you're used to being out in the cold and whatnot in your line of work, and you see them starting to probably late afternoon starting to bring in the goods, and they're bringing it into this this domicile that they've taken over, this abandoned small home on the outskirts of town, and kind of securing the various goods.
Would that be like one of these Small things on
It's
the side of town
it's
here.
actually more up in this area, to be honest with you. It is on the edge of the water. It's not on the map. It's
Gotcha.
it's smaller. It would be similar to something like this, but it's
Right.
actually located right there.
It's over there. Okay.
Yeah, because that's where I say it is. Damn it. Okay, so while that's going on, Hendrik and Dodvin
Dodvin.
are proceeding throughout town, looking at door frames and on sides of buildings, wiping off snow packing sides of where it's built up. Each of you guys go ahead and give me investigations.
Okay. I am focusing just to let you know, higher than he would be looking. I'm not even bothering down there.
Yes.
Investigation.
You better pray you don't get into like
Wow.
combat.
Nicely
You're
rolled there,
wasting
Henrik.
all of your things.
Yeah.
So Henrik, you do a very, very thorough job. Partially, maybe from your experience working in the your guild and the meticulous nature of the experimentation for magic and ritual casting that you had to learn. You meticulously work your way throughout Bremen, which is not a huge town by any stretch of imagination. So you're able to spend about 4 hours of the time that Filbert and Winzira are watching the merchants. You spend those 4 hours checking over every single building within Bremen. You have Dodvin behind you, kind of gazing here and there, looking a little bit more lackadaisically. You see him kind of, as people walk by, he's kind of watching them, making sure that they're not doing anything against the law. Occasionally nodding their heads to them as they, he gets a friendly wave. But you're laser focused. You're checking every building, every doorway, and whatnot. While you identified several of the structures that probably will not be standing for very much longer because of the dilapidation state. You do not find any of them that have been so vandalized with the marks that you're looking for that you have determined belong to the Arcane Brotherhood. And you can feel very confident about the fact that if there was some, you think that you would have found them.
All right.
And on our march, I do want to stop in real quick, feed my bird, pet it, move on. Not trying to make a thing of it, just trying to keep it friendly.
Yep, roll an animal handling.
Oh. I am feeding it treats.
I understand.
Yep. Damn it.
A
6.
You only take 1 hit point damage from the nip as it bites your hand as you try to feed it.
Okay. Well, thank you, Birdie. Actually, thank you, Stornessa. I appreciate the love tap.
You're not sure how to read the glinty stare that it's looking at you, whether or not there's some intelligence there or not. All right. Meanwhile, in the Stones, sounds like an episode of some really bad
BBC.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that one. Sorry. Yeah, telenovela.
Yeah.
When you first get to the Stones, it is rather quiet. Again, it's not in the best of repair. It is drafty. There is naught but a few lanterns giving off any kind of light or heat. But there are a few fishermen already in, having what looks to be maybe a bit of fish stew, and slurping down a drink. You After a few minutes, the owner comes up, thanks you for what you did yesterday, and puts an ale in front of you. Tells you, I wish I could give you better, lass. I really do. I wish I could give you a fine draught of good mead's finest, but we haven't had a shipment now in several weeks, and we've plumb run out. I'm gonna
Oh,
give it.
this is lovely.
Well,
I don't
appreciate
even know what I would do with a fancy good mead. This is fine.
it. Okay. Uh, I have given you. This is the what we do have that's good, sir. It's not watered down.
Well,
As some of the others.
thank you kindly.
Thank you,
I-
thank you.
I just do it even though I don't know what I'm saying. And then I'm gonna put a silver down for him too
Okay.
as a tip.
Over the next course of several hours, that you spend in the tavern, are you there by yourself? I think you. No, Roanoke
Yeah.
was with
Yeah,
you.
I am. I don't know.
I'll be with her.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Roanoke's with you. Roanoke, as you sit there for the next several hours, more and more fishermen come in. It seems to be that's the main of the crowd. Wow. Okay. And that more and more keep coming in. What appears is one of them has noted you had left and has told other folks around that your presence was here at the Stones and has brought them in. The bartender, the owner, coming over and saying, "Well, I must really thank you for coming. I seem to be pulling the lion's share today, thanks to your patronage. So, please, here, another round on me." And he puts that down
Well,
in
thank
front
you.
of you.
I'm gonna give another silver. But I'm also like, the more that she starts drinking and the more people that are there, she's like gonna start telling, like, just a little bit about the tale, and then also keeps bringing up the fact that she punched a fish.
Okay. Give me a performance
All right.
check to see how well you tell the tale of fish punching.
All right.
Sweet.
15. And there he was, the biggest knucklehead trout I've ever seen. He comes striking out of the water, splashes me, and I just reached up and I reared back and boom, punched the fish right into Fudgy's mouth.
So, as you tell the tale, finish, hip here for a hero, for the hero, and they all drink in your health as they throw back and celebrate your amazing success of punching what now has become the largest knucklehead anyone has ever seen, as you punched it to death upon the lake, and so charmed the beast of Bremen, the lake monster, and named him Fudgy. And your legend grows. All right. So, Filbert, you and Winzira, seeing them start to pack up, Torga appears to be retiring into the structure, where wow, thank you, Sirenscape, for finally getting around to that one. Wow, talk about delay. There might be some more coming, guys, so just if that happens.
We understand.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
literally 5 minutes ago. God, now what was I saying? Oh, so as they you see that she kind of goes in with the porters are retiring in, but the bodyguard, whom I don't know if anybody picked up his name. Did anybody hear?
Yeah, it was. Oh, I wrote it down. Something with an S. Sokar. Darn it, I wrote it down.
Well, we'll say Suffolk. She referred to him.
Suffolk.
Wow, it's just gonna keep doing it.
I'm not hearing what you're hearing.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything from Sirenscape.
Me
That's
either.
I'm hearing chatting, like bar chatter.
yeah.
That's
There
it.
was just every time I said that, a big huzzah came across.
That must be just for you, because not us.
Those came across for me timely. So there must be
Yeah.
a weird
Oh,
lag
good.
on your end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my machine. Which is always wonderful.
Sepig, you said, correct?
Suffolk.
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 Like the county.
in Britain.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know not this Britain. Here in Faerun.
Mm-hmm.
Is that near Wall?
Yeah.
I live right near Wall, actually, in real life. Mickey does. Wall is like 10 miles from here. The city of Wall. Anyway, so Filbert, you see Suffolk kind of give a salute and start walking towards back into town, coming your way.
Okay. Then I'll kind of. Was Winzira staying like near me, or did we kind of like post up in different?
Yeah, she's not
areas?
far from you. I don't know. Did you actually climb a tree, or?
Yeah, I probably would have. But I don't know if I would have even seen where she went with her 24 and their stealth or whatever it was.
She's ducked over, kind of within sight. You know the general area, but you can't quite see her because of her, like you said, her ridiculously near invisible stealth roll of 24.
I do have a chance to see her.
That's true. Go ahead and roll.
Oh, 23.
You know the general
Good roll.
area that she's hidden in. I would say with that.
I'll kind of just do like a little circle around that area and just call her name.
Okay, so you're gonna come out of the tree.
Not like out loud. I'll kind of like, whisper.
Yeah,
her name around the area that she
sees you coming, and just kind of jumps up behind you, and kind of taps you on the back and says, "Boop."
Oh, hey.
So it looks like the
guard
guy
guy's going.
He's coming this way.
Yeah.
What should we do?
So I'm gonna head back to the bar. Do you want to?
Okay.
Come with me to the bar, or do you want to try to watch Torga's flop house over there?
I'm kind of cold.
It is cold. I'm cold too. We should just go to the bar.
And I've been a good girl. I don't think I need to stay outside.
You've been a very good girl. We should go to the bar. Come on.
Yay! Sorry, Rebecca. That's the best I could do. I feel bad.
I was kind of hoping she would show up right at that moment, but alas.
Oh God.
So yeah, we'll kind of high step it over to the bar.
Okay. So you kind of like, we'll say that you kind of like do, double time to get over there. Are you trying to stealth, or are you just trying to quickly get over there before?
No, I'm just trying to get it over there. I mean,
Okay.
I have no real reason to hide.
Nope. All right. So you guys make it back to the bar. generally within a few minutes of Henrik and Dodvin's entrance. The bar is now quite full, being it's not a very large bar. You do notice on the way over that while this one, you can hear even from outside the noise coming in from that, the other 4 bars are noticeably quieter. Although there's certainly certain patronage in all 5. The one that you're heading to, the Stones, tonight, for whatever reason, definitely has a larger clientele.
Do they enter?
Yeah, we'll say that they're entering as right now.
So
I'm going to stand right in the doorway. I'm not going to actually enter the building.
I punched the fish.
Just as they enter, I'm clear. I'm talking to a local woman who's clearly out of my league. My character is young and doesn't have any game, and he's like, and my mom was eaten by a yeti, and she gets up and walks away, and that's when I notice. That's when I notice that they walk in, and I go, "Oh, hey!"
As the rest of you guys
That's what you leave with?
all kind of come in, you're noticed, and people actually kind of give you a cheer as you walk in. Your notoriety is clear.
She did punch a fish.
I did.
I kind of
You
like
did.
shrug it off, and I'll go join them at the table.
And I'm like,
We seem rather popular here.
And I'm going to order 2 steamed ciders if they have them for me and Winzira to get rid of the chill.
Chill.
Would they have cider?
They have wine.
Yeah, he apologizes. My lord. Good sir, I wish we had cider. Alas, it's been a day, long time since we've had that. But I could do. We have a mulled wine, perhaps.
That was my next suggestion. Thank you.
Oh,
Stop
most
reading
excellent.
my mind.
Yes, sir. Apologies, sir. I would never presume to, sir. No, absolutely not. But you can see, like, he's now suddenly his bald head's like got these little drops of sweat on them. Oh, I'll be right back with that, sir. Please.
Oh, well, actually, I'll call him back and say, can you make that 4 of those, please?
Oh, certainly can, sir. Just
For
back in a whip.
Dodvin and Henrik when they get here.
Okay.
Those don't have
Thank you very
alcohol.
much.
Those don't have alcohol in them, do they?
yes.
Oh, I'm not supposed to drink. I'm too young for that.
No.
Bullshit.
I was always told it until I get some hair on my, and then the conversation trails off.
You'll never get to drink. Thea, while you're there and have been regaling and talking about punching fish, at one point, one of the fishermen comes up, sitting there, or, a little bit more surly than the other ones, seems to be put off by the all the hero worship, and hearing that you're from Dugan's Hole, he's like, why aren't you back at the Dugan's Hole then? Fixing what the problem's there. I hear they got plenty.
Well, I've heard about some wolves.
Yeah.
Is there more problems?
Well, wolves big as a house. I would think that'd be a pretty big problem for all 30, 40 people living in Dugan's Hole. I mean, they could eat them all up. Chop, chop.
I I agree. It is certainly next on our list. It is very important to me, and I hope that you wouldn't think it isn't. But as we have had a busy day just doing everything, I'm sorry if my reveling has made it seem that I have not a care.
Yeah. Leave the girl alone, Seth, you dumb coot. Shut up. And then they all start kind of beating on him. All of his friends kind of taking him away, you know.
Listen,
Don't mind him.
You
Don't
can-
mind him. He's just a surly old bastard he is. Please. Here. Tell us again how you punched that
What's made-
fish.
what's made him so surly? Is he okay?
Well, I don't really know. I think his balls froze off a few years back. He ain't never been the same since.
He does bring
would do
a
it.
very good point. I have already mentioned to my friends that we shall be traveling to Dugan. I'm sorry to hear about his balls.
I think that there needs to be a new pastime in Bremen, starting tomorrow. Knucklefish punching.
I agree.
There could be entire competitions, tournaments even, all in the honor of the first fish puncher.
As the proprietor
John!
comes back
What is
over
that
with
noise?
the
John!
What?
What is that?
It's you.
yeah. If you're gonna start
What?
typing, you gotta mute your mic.
What?
I'm not typing. It's this.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
stop.
Good. I'm glad it was you and not my computer. I was a little. I was worried that was. I'm like, oh god, here we
A
go.
glitch.
Yes, I did something with the Matrix. While just as he's bringing back over these the mule the mugs, and you could see that he had taken a poker from the fire and put it in each one to heat them up, and they're steaming as he brings them over. You notice that the entry at the door, as the door opens and in comes Suffolk, the bodyguard.
Filbert, you're up.
Filbert, your 23 perception that you rolled there.
From Winzira, from trying to spot Winzira.
Oh, okay, that's what that was. Give me another perception. Give me another one. I was like, God damn, man, you read my mind.
Sweet.
20.
Okay, so you've been kind of keeping an eye out, right? You're expecting this individual to walk in. So when he walks in, you're kind of looking at his way. You see him kind of take in the crowd. At first, he seems almost a little bit taken aback by it, but kind of nods to himself a little bit, and he just kind of looks for a spot, sort of near the door. You can see him. He kind of pulls up a stool from one of the tables. Doesn't sit with anyone, but just kind of leans against the wall, very near the door.
Are there any rolls on the table?
Rolls, as in bread?
Yeah.
Not at yours. You all seem to be mostly just drinking at this point.
All right. Oh, I'll get up and walk over to him then.
Okay.
I was just going to throw a roll at him.
Right at him?
All right. That had been interesting. All right.
Yes,
Sees-
there's bread.
He sees you approaching and kind of nods at you.
And I kind of
Halfling.
tip my head and say, hey, we're sitting over here at this table. Do you want to join us?
Why not? And he goes
And
to
I
come
walk back in to sit down at our table.
as you're doing that and you're walking over with that 20 perception, since you've been kind of focused on him, it does strike you that his scabbard that he had at his waist is empty.
Mm. Is he still shirtless?
He's not shirtless. No, he's.
No,
I
he
mean-
just didn't have a coat on.
Oh, I thought he was shirtless.
No, he had a
Well,
vest
that's why
and
you
a
were hitting
tunic
on him.
on. I'm not hitting on him. I'm just trying to do the job that you guys came here to do.
Sure. Wait, you guys?
He follows you over
Well, I'm gonna,
and sits down.
gonna,
Wait, motions to the guy and dwarven spirits for me, please.
I'm gonna excuse myself and say I'll be right back. Go take a leak, and while I'm out taking a leak, cast detect magic again, and then come in, see if I can get a stronger sense of that aura that's on him.
Okay. Again, you're getting a little bit of almost just like a tickling. How do you perceive magic? Let me ask you that, Hendrik. Is it a visual thing? Is it a audio thing? Is it a olfactory?
I would say-
How does Hendrik perceive when there's magic?
I would say it'd be some, because with detect magic I have to see it, so I'm thinking if I have to see it, it'd be some sort of like a visual glow or aura
Sure.
around something, and then be able to, depending on the color of that aura, would give me probably the school of it, I would think.
Okay. So while you're used to things kind of giving off this kind of a glow or almost seem to be lit up with some kind of visual piece, when you stare at him with this magic, detect magic up, it's almost like a light bulb, as it's a filament bulb, as it's got very low current. Almost just kind of, it's like it's starting to start and then doesn't. Starting to start and doesn't. And it's not constantly, it's just randomly kind of, you see a little bit of a sense of it, but not enough to actually give off what you're going to see as like this glow or this aura that objects or magic items tend to give off.
Okay. I just still can't get a beat on what it is then.
It's never fully giving off a full air of magical
radiance.
essence. Yeah.
So Suffolk, why are you wearing a scabbard with no sword in it?
Well, I didn't think I would need a sword in here tonight.
Why'd you bring the scabbard then?
Oh, I always wear scabbard. Very perceptive of you. I guess I could have left that back too, couldn't I?
It just seems like an extra weight clanking around for no reason.
Fair enough. Next time I'll leave it at home too.
You're an interesting guy, almost like you come from the south.
Well, I get around. Been a lot of places. I'm sure the same could be said for many of you.
Well, maybe me, but not these guys. They're all from around here.
I'm originally from here, but I spent most of my time in Neverwinter.
And Neverwinter doesn't count.
Still south.
It's south to people from here.
Yeah, I know.
That's true.
It's like
I
saying
mean, that's more south from where I come from then. So
it's kind of like Game of Thrones being from the north, but then the wildlings are like, no, you're from the south.
I have made my way further north in my travels now. It wasn't so far long ago that I came from warmer places. But I like
How
it
do you
here
stay
now.
warm up here? You don't have like any furs or anything on you.
Well, I was very fortunate. I was born on a holiday of midwinter, as a matter of fact. I've been blessed with the Frostmaiden's blessing. I don't really feel the cold. Doesn't really bother me.
Splendid. Something I'm familiar with.
Interesting.
So, what brings you all here to Bremen?
We're investigating a murder.
Oh, do tell.
Well, I should say they're investigating a murder. I'm not a detective. I just watch their backs.
An honorable place to be. Murder's a nasty business, but a business nonetheless.
Yeah, some people can make their own business off of murders.
True enough. Although some people just deserve to die, don't you think?
I suppose. I guess if they've done something wrong enough, yes.
It all, I guess, depends on who's making that judgment call. And who they've wronged, I guess.
That's true. That is very true.
Have you heard about the murders? Do you feel that these people deserve to die?
Oh, I'm not sure which murders you mean. I'd imagine many people are murdered every day in 10 towns. And he kind of smiles at you as he says it.
Fair.
Well, cheers all to the Frostmaiden and her many blessings.
I thought he was over. I thought they were over by themselves.
No,
No,
he
he
came
came back over
He
here.
invited him back to your
Uh,
table where he sat down with
Yeah.
y'all.
Oh, I missed that. Sorry.
I'm basically just gonna drink my one glass of wine, and then I'm gonna excuse myself and just be like, well, I'm still quite exhausted, especially after going through town today. And I want to get some studying done, so I'm gonna head back to the inn.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Thea was distracted by people talking to her, and that's why I missed that. Um,
Oh, the 4 hours of drinking that she's had has nothing to do with it.
that's a meta melding.
I'm
Meta
tight.
melding right there.
I'm tight.
I'm fine. I'm a strong, burly northern girl.
Clearly, lass, clearly.
Well, I mean, you can't possibly be okay with people just randomly showing up dead. I mean, if it's in duty of protecting your employer, I can see the cause in that. But random death is never all right. It's not all right with any of the gods.
Well, I don't know about that. Random death? What's to say that it's not planned by something that you just don't know about, young lady?
He's got a point.
You can't say that any death is random. Unless you're one of the gods who knows how things are supposed to be.
He's got a point.
Well, I mean, it seems like you know much more than we do. Can
She's
you
got
think
a
of
point.
you think can you think of a good and justifiable reason for so many deaths?
I don't know how many deaths we're talking here. 4? 20? 60? Who's to say?
3?
That's not such a big number now, is it?
I have a question. What in you sparks joy?
Sparks joy. What a marvelous turn of phrase that is. Yeah, I believe a job well done. Serving my mistress. That sparks some joy in me. Little
So
I
what
do
if there were-
feel. I do love a good dwarven ale, a good dwarven spirit. Lively, good conversation. These things make me happy too, to some extent.
So, in that scheme of things, wouldn't every single life also be experiencing those things? And those people could have had small joys in their life, and therefore, the loss of any of those is a great loss.
Well, maybe to them. What's it to me?
Well, how would you feel if perhaps, let's say, since the very first thing you listed was that serving your mistress and keeping her safe, well, let's say she wasn't safe. Let's say perhaps death seems to follow her. What if she was in danger?
Oh, that's a good question.
My mistress. Death will never touch her.
Why is that? Death touches us all, does it not?
But the question was, death follows her, not that it was going to touch her.
Well, death follows many of us. The soldier, the assassin, they are well acquainted with death, are they not? You are adventurers. Have you not dealt death out to many in your time?
Yes.
About 3.
Yes, and everyone
4.
does get judged eventually.
So there you have it. These fine fisher folk here, they deal out death to the fish they bring in. The hunter brings death to the stew animals that we eat. Death is nothing to be ashamed of or afraid of. If they're strong enough to stay alive, then be it. So be it. If not, people gotta eat.
Are you eating humans?
No, certainly not. That is repulsive.
He's got a point.
I make several. Pew, pew, pew. I suppose we just have different views on the right and the ways of the world.
Nothing wrong with that. Makes for good conversation.
Indeed.
So in it's also very noticeable to all of you at this point as the dimness in the light as he's moving around that his eyes are just strikingly, piercingly blue.
Uh-huh.
I take it that this is an abnormal, like bluer than they should be.
Bluer than
Yeah,
you've
like my eyes are
probably
blue.
yeah, his are crazy blue.
Okay. Okay.
He's a
I'm
Frostmaiden servant.
I am trying to find a way to show you his eyes. Hang on. I have a way. I just have to find it. Ah, there we go. This will
It
work.
looks like Paul Atreides. I mean, like that.
Not quite. It's not blue within blue.
All right.
Hang on. I'm gonna show it to you. Give me just a sec.
Okay.
Can you see
Is
that?
that it? Yeah. I can see
Oh,
that.
yes.
You know, they kind of glow.
Looks like a lawful good paladin to me.
Are those pointy ears or just?
No,
Those
no,
are
definitely
pointed.
not.
It's like, no.
No.
So it's kind of like
He's
kinda-
definitely a human. That his hair's
Okay.
long, but it's pulled back in a ponytail there, so it's a little bit harder to see.
so he's kind of like the Night King in Game of Thrones. Crazy
Yeah.
glowy blue eyes.
Maybe not quite that crazy, but on the spectrum, it's closer to that than Theus.
Aha.
Okay. Interesting.
So, how do you feel? How do you feel about this eternal winter that we found ourselves in?
I must say, I probably have a different view than most because of my
would
natural
love to
gifts, but I find it rather pleasant.
I've noticed you don't seem to feel the cold, and for a southern man, that seems pretty odd.
Were you not here just a moment ago when I explained that?
She's drunk.
I was talking
She's in
to-
her cups.
I was talking to this man over here about the time I punched a fish.
She did punch a fish.
Well, my apologies then. Certainly. I am blessed, having been born on the midwinter's day, with Frostmaiden's blessing. I don't feel the cold.
Well, I mean, I was born on Midwinter's Day too. I still feel the cold. Doesn't affect me as much, but you still see me wearing warm clothes.
Maybe she's blessed me a little more.
I can see that.
Now come. Well, enough of all this pandering around. Is there something that you are on your minds that you'd like to ask me? I have nothing to hide from any of you.
Uh-oh.
Who did we lose?
John.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
Discord.
I look at.
Like to go, "Meh."
I think Filbert had something
Yeah.
he wanted to ask.
I asked them my questions already. Unless you guys want a battle axe or a rapier.
How about two long swords?
2 long swords.
I do love a longsword.
I bet Torgrid does too.
I'm a scimitar man
Now-
myself.
Stop that.
What?
I was joking with Mickey.
Actually, the Shield Maiden, not so interested in the longsword, if you take my meaning.
Oh,
Gotcha.
she's interested more in the oyster.
What? Roanoke is just shaking his head. He has no fucking clue. What? I haven't even been drinking.
Winzira is sitting there, starts swinging her legs and strumming on a thing. Oysters in the morning, oysters in the night. Oysters, oysters, oysters.
They're
Not
kind
her best.
Actually, I'm curious about something that nobody has brought up, but your mistress mentioned, and I kind of lean in to keep my voice down just a little bit. I'm not trying to be whisper it to draw too much attention, but the Cara Donoval, What can you share about the hazards over there?
Care Donovan. Wasn't such a dangerous place. We were in the town. Didn't see too much of it. Some business about the keep. Something to do with the speaker. Taking himself, retiring, and not being seen very much, but wasn't dangerous.
I heard lots of shiny necklaces there, though.
Yeah. That wouldn't nothing I know about. But I tell you, if Torga says it, she would know. That woman. She's got a lot of irons in the fire. She keeps her nose to the ground, as they say. Knows a lot of things. My job is just to make sure no one
Hurts her.
gets the better of her.
Has anybody tried?
Right?
I've had to put a few people in their place. Nothing serious. Nothing a few broken bones didn't set her straight.
What was that?
I don't know.
It wasn't for me.
It's so perfectly timed. It was like,
It sounded like a flush.
don't fuck with Torga.
There was a car that just drove by the house that was really loud.
It was
Okay.
you. It was you. We gotta get you a headset, babe, because
Yeah.
your shit's way too sensitive. All right.
And if,
I mean, I'm done with this guy.
So you and the caravan are sticking around for another night or two?
That's what she says, yeah. As a matter of fact.
All right. Well, maybe we'll see you tomorrow, or maybe we'll see you again tomorrow night if you want to come by for a drink.
Sounds peachy.
You're good company, sir.
Well, thank thee. Thank you very much.
Good to see some southern blood up around here.
Yeah, let's just try to keep my blood where it's not being seen, shall we?
He's got
But
a point.
I take your meaning, and I thank you. But I'm a northerner now. That old life is over.
All right then.
Glug, 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 glug.
yeah.
Yep. Suffolk, have a good evening.
Are we leaving?
Yeah, I think I'll take a walk in the night air myself. You all have a very nice evening.
You too, sir.
As soon as he walks out the door,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm watching him, and I'm like drinking, I'm just like kind of like
We should shadow him.
I'm like, listen, you know, I'm sure you guys noticed when I fell in the water and I didn't get all that, hard effects like poor Hendrik did. You know,
Mhm.
I mentioned that I was more resistant to the cold. I was also, blessed in that time, but I'm not walking around without, with a vest. It's still cold. I think something's going on, and my eyes don't look like that. I think
Don't be jealous.
No, he is in league with the Frostmaiden. I am telling you, that is another level of involvement.
That's next level shit, man.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, Mickey, just mechanically, I also have the resistance to cold. Would I? I mean, I thought I was just kind of wearing the cold weather gear just to look more like everybody else, but I thought the resistance provided me with a certain amount of. I don't really need it, but am I misreading that?
Well, let's put it this way: neither of you would suffer physical damage from being out in the cold. It would not be pleasant.
Yeah.
I mean, it would certainly not be pleasant. You would feel cold, but you wouldn't take damage from it.
That's how
Right.
I took it.
We're resistant.
And it
he's
doesn't,
immune.
and it
I mean,
doesn't,
there's something
and it
wrong with
doesn't,
this,
and it doesn't give you a level of exhaustion by being out in it,
Right.
right?
Yeah. That's how I took it. Was like, we're like, yeah, we can shrug it off easier, but we still get fucking
It will still
cold.
get to us. Yeah. Okay.
So just walking around, like, I'm not walking around in a fur bikini.
Be an interesting
Maybe you
show if
should.
you were.
I put my hand above Roanoke's eyes. Don't give him such ideas.
Hey, don't don't cover my eyes. How am I ever going to learn?
I
And-
point
and-
at the more stealthy in the party and I say, if you're going to do something, it's your turn because that ain't me.
Yeah,
I'll
we should
walk-
probably fall.
I'll say
I'll
this:
walk them home.
Thea might not, but Tara might.
I mean, I look pretty cute in a fur bikini. I'm just gonna say, like,
There you go.
I've worn much less out in public, so
By much less means nothing.
painted.
Yeah.
All right. So as you guys walk out,
So are we going to follow him?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying in character was it's up to you guys. I'm pointing at you. If you're going to do it, do it.
Fine.
All right. I will go with
I'm not the stealthy one. I ain't going nowhere, and my character's.
I
drunk,
volunteered to escort you home if you were heading back there. If not, I'll stay with you here.
I'll go.
Winzira, can you sing us a song
Yeah.
before we go? An inspiring kind of song?
I certainly can. We shall go smart. We shall go quick. We shall go happy, wick. There you go. That's what you get, man. That's all I'm doing.
Oysters.
You got a little something on your lips there, Thea. I'm looking for her. Where are her bardic inspirations? There you go. She hands out 1, 2. She hands. How long do those last? God, I should know that.
10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah. She gives one to Filbert and to Roanoke. I'm assuming that the three of you are going to follow him?
Mhm.
Or are you all going?
No, I think just the three of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I was heading back home after I finished my wine.
Yeah, he
Okay.
was pretty much gone.
All right, so you're already gone.
I mean, I probably stayed for about half of that conversation, and then I left.
I'm gonna actually take my leave and head back to the inn as well.
Then I'm heading back to the inn as well.
Fucking hell.
Hmm?
Nah, I'm fighting with roll 20.
We've actually split the party here.
Yeah, go ahead and
What do you ever do that,
the
you
two
know?
of
I
you
mean,
roll, please, your stealth.
Stealth.
19.
Okay.
22.
All right. So Zira's is
Nice.
12. She's gonna be really pissed if I get her killed.
Don't do that.
All right. All right. So as you guys start to,
Well, I would imagine if even if we separate, we're not going to be more than screaming distance away from one another.
well, explain to me. Okay, so they're going to be heading back towards.
So we were over here by the Five Taverns,
Yep.
and we know that Torga's place is up here.
Correct.
But Suffolk said that
the buried
he's going to
treasure's
go
down
for.
here.
Okay.
So as you guys
O
walk
marks the
out,
spot.
as you walk out, the Stones is the pink one, by the way. So you're at the very end of.
That's magenta.
Excuse me. Magenta. Oh, meteor storm starts coming, raining from the sky. Yeah. Look at the pretty lights. Today is a good day to die. You see that he's kind of meandering and hasn't gotten very far yet. So as you guys all kind of walk out, he's just kind of strolling, going off in this direction. Maybe starting to go a little bit towards the water.
All right. So why doesn't somebody kind of come around this way and go up towards the water?
All right, I'll do it. I'm the
And
quickest.
somebody can, yeah. You're faster than the two of us are, so.
Okay.
Maybe when Zira can go up that last way that I just indicated, and then I'll kind of like slink behind him, but stay, like 40, 50 feet behind him.
Okay. Do me a favor, and each of you guys give a perception.
Perception?
Yep, as you're kind of trying to track him and trailing after him and watching him.
I am going to use my inspiration on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to use that as inspiration on that one.
Oh, that's fantastic.
God.
So it's an 8 total for me.
Yeah, same for me. I'd rather miss something than get noticed.
Okay. Yeah, even with that, I think you would still be able to. So it is fairly dark at this point. The aurora has not quite made it into the sky yet, so it is quite dark. There's a little bit of light coming off of some of the buildings where some oil lamps are lit, but not very much at all. It does not affect you, Roanoke, because of your abilities, and nor does it affect Winzira. Do you have any way of seeing in the dark, Filbert, at this point?
No. Nope.
Okay. So you're at disadvantage with your perception roll. So give me one more roll just to see if it got any if it got any worse.
Damn.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. That's great.
That's
Oh.
That's all right. It's all right.
Shit.
So moving very quietly and stealthily around the buildings, Roanoke, you kind of move very quickly and are able to move up with your natural abilities to get to a point where you've got an eye on him. And Filbert, you're casually, nonchalantly doing the same, trying to stay out of direct, line of sight if possible, but still keeping view of him. When Zira going off, you guys all, even you, Filbert, where you are, you actually can hear Winzira. She's not doing a very good job of it. And you notice, Roanoke, you notice that Sefik kind of turns his head in the direction off where you could hear the kind of crunching in the snow of Winzira's footsteps. And as he does so, he seems to reach down to his scabbard and he pulls out. You see him draw a blade that seems to kind of form in his hand as he pulls it out.
Makes sense.
So, all right. So we were saying Winzira was up near this area.
Yep.
I was coming out down this main road, like
Yep.
following almost right behind him.
And he's right around. He's coming
When
through
I
here.
when I see him pull a blade out
Mhm.
and turn his head towards where Winzira is, I'll shout out, "Suffolk, hold on. I wanted to ask you what time you guys open up shop tomorrow."
Damn it.
Ooh.
You should have caught him
Right.
in the act.
Roll a deception.
Regardless of what you roll, that's a good play.
I would rather he struck, but
Okay.
you have nothing
14.
to prove now.
You see him attempt to put that briefly. You see him turn towards you with the blade still in his hand, and kind of sheepishly looking at you. He sheathes it back into his scabbard. Well, Filbert, we'll be open as soon as it begins to get a little bit light out.
Oh,
Round.
fantastic.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, not for tonight.
Well,
I'll probably see you tomorrow, though.
you
Have a
know
good
where
evening.
you know where to find me.
I do, and now I know what time to find you.
Enjoy your evening.
You too, sir. And I turn and start heading back to the bar area, and then see if the other two come back.
No, I'm going to keep shadowing him. Oh, we should have waited till he struck. I was about to.
This guy's pulling out magic blades from a scabbard. I don't think the three of us are going to do too much against him.
That was an excellent fucking save. Not
Yeah.
Steph's kid.
Yeah. That's why I said it was a good play. It was,
I'm gonna keep an eye
Nicely
out,
done.
see where he goes.
Right.
When Zira
will
comes
actually
running
make
back, okay.
I was going to say I was going to circle up like down this alleyway here and try and call
Yeah.
Winzira over just so she doesn't get killed.
Before you can even get there, she's coming running back to you, and goes, "Did you see that? Did you see that?
I did.
Did you see what it? He's got an ice sword."
He does have a nice sword,
Mm-hmm.
and he heard your feet crunching in the snow. So we should get out of here.
Yeah, that didn't go as good as it could have. Sorry.
He has good ears.
Well,
His ears are excellent.
I tripped over the damn snowbank. Don't
That's
tell anybody
alright.
else, okay? Don't tell him.
I'm not. Why would I tell anybody else? Come on, let's go. It's cold.
Okay, thank you.
And
The
in
ice
while
sword.
they've been gone, I'm telling Hendrik that I think that Sefik is in league with the Frostmaiden. So, because I definitely made it back by this time.
Yeah. I was with you. I was making sure you got back
Yeah.
safe as well. And I'm agreeing with you 100%. Makes sense.
Yeah.
After they trail off, and if I keep looking, where does he go?
So you continue to follow him. He goes back up, kind of taking his time. He doesn't seem to be in any kind of rush, just kind of meandering along the bank. He goes back to where their setup is, And you see him kind of wander out onto this small little pier. It's not really anything like the main piers of the town, but it's a little personal. Maybe a fishing boat used to be tied up to it. You see him kind of just standing out on the end of the pier, arms crossed over his chest, and just staring out over into the water, into the dark.
How long does he linger there? After 10 minutes, is he still there?
Yeah, he doesn't. He just seems to be kind of lost in thought, doing something. I don't know. He just doesn't seem to be doing much of anything at this point.
All right. I'll obviously I've got good vision range at this in the dark, but I'll withdraw and return back to the group.
Okay. I would say too, as you're out there, yeah, I think so. And you can hear kind of that similar squawk that you heard, and looking up, you start to see the ribbon is just starting to form at the far horizon as you decide to make your way back.
When I get back, I'm gonna go and is everybody present when I return?
You head back to the buried treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll head back to where we're.
You're
all
the
stuck.
last. You're the last one to
Yeah, okay.
to return.
So to Filbert, so I'm curious what because you didn't say that to me because we were separated. Well, what was the reason for your interrupting him? He looked like he was about to act. We could have caught him.
We could have caught him potentially trying to kill Winzira. Yeah.
I would rather that you didn't catch him doing that.
Oh, he was going to try.
Did you see
I think
the ice sword?
Yes, I saw the ice sword.
Okay.
It seems that we have our murderer. Do you feel that we need the whole group maybe to set up maybe an ambush? Give him somebody to go after a bunny rabbit out in the snow, so to speak.
Let me back up.
Let me finish, please. Let me finish what I'm saying. And perhaps lay a trap for him if he's going to try to waylay somebody in the night. Do you think maybe that's like that's a better idea, or you don't think that that we should try to do that at all?
Well, you said murderer, and we don't know for certain that he is the murderer because don't forget one of the victims had an ice shard in them when it was removed by one of the townsfolk, it then melted. So why would he leave a blade behind? A skill,
Perhaps we don't know the full measure of what his abilities are, but the question stands. We certainly that's something that we potentially could learn. I could surmise and guess if you wish, that maybe he has some ability to when he stabs somebody, there's a shard that remains. I don't know, but he clearly was out there looking to kill somebody as an opportunity, and Winzira just happened to be that opportunity. That could have been anybody that was just walking in the night by themselves.
2 points. One, I think there is a chance that the ice shards may have belonged to that magic weapon that formed in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
The second point is maybe he just felt like someone was sneaking up on him, trying to get a hold of him, and he was acting in self-defense. I mean, his action of drawing a blade in the middle of the night doesn't automatically mean he's a murderer. It means that he felt like he may have been getting ambushed.
Sorry about
exactly
that.
my reason. Maybe
from what he's telling me, yeah, I would think he was just reacting to hearing Winzira. I don't think that he is without suspicion. Certainly.
Agreed.
I think he's absolutely in league with the Frostmaiden, and as you were saying, who stayed behind, that, he was obviously doing some sort of meditation / worship, watching the Frostmaiden as past.
Well, he's certainly
As-
he admits he's gotten gifts from the Frostmaiden, so that's pretty evident.
I mean,
I would like to see what he would have done, not just drawing his blade. Perhaps we
He-
can give him a carrot and see what happens.
Where the
another
hell are
night.
you going to find a carrot up here?
All right, I'm using metaphors.
it's a
Really?
metaphor.
Fine.
As they
you-
describe this
You wait. You
magical-
make the joke about the carrot and not the bunny in the snow. I think that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, bunnies go in the snow. Carrots don't grow in the snow.
All right, a bunny. Fine. There's a bunny. We'll put a bunny out there at the same time tomorrow night,
An easy carrot.
and we'll put it. He'll have a carrot because carrots eat bunnies eat carrots. Carrots eat bunnies. Bunnies eat carrots. Okay, does that work?
And wolves do hunt bunnies, just to continue on with your thing, and they are flying under the wolven banner.
Okay.
As they describe this sword, can I do like an Arcana check to see if I can think of any weapons that are in that line that I may have read about?
Certainly. Go ahead. Damn, man, you are rolling like
You
a
really need to
fiend.
sleep.
Think how good you'd be if you weren't at disadvantage.
Right?
Well, you'd have an 18 instead of a 16. I mean, not that much of a difference. But helps have a +6 in Arcana.
Yeah.
You know that there's summoning magics that you can conjure things like a sword or a dagger seemingly out of thin air. You don't know necessarily that you've ever heard of it being an ice, made of ice, but it certainly doesn't seem far-fetched to you.
And I'm guessing it falls in line with the strong conjuration magic that I got from it when we were actually at the store.
It would seem to be consistent with that, yeah.
So here's what I'm proposing, and obviously, this is something that the group has to be comfortable with. It seems like some of you don't believe that maybe he would have actually struck at her. And mind you, I respect the fact that you didn't want to take that chance, Filbert. I think maybe just one beat later, and we would have been able to see if he was going to move towards her in an aggressive manner. But you probably saved her life, nevertheless. So what? Can I just? God, I just want to finish my sentence, guys. What I'm proposing is we set up an ambush, put something out there for him to, if he's going to patrol again tomorrow night, see if this is a recurring thing, and maybe this is our murderer. If he doesn't show up, or if he does and he doesn't do anything, fine. But we may be able to set an ambush and catch this guy in the midst of doing this. And I think clearly with all of us there, pre-positioned or whatnot, whatever the plan might be, we'd be better able to handle the situation. Maybe bring this guy in. Thoughts?
I don't disagree with the concept of your plan. I disagree with the way you're presenting it, that he is...
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I think your leap of assumption is the problem. The plan itself is not a problem. I don't think he was going to murder Winzera. I think he was reacting to a noise he heard based on the description that was provided to you. And that's a very different thing than prowling the streets to kill someone.
Okay, well,
it's a different thing.
No disrespect intended. I understand that if I remember correctly, you weren't there. All right, we're explaining what the circumstance is and that we saw. But I saw one thing. Filbert saw another. So Filbert saw it in his way. I saw it in mine. So I'm explaining to you what I saw. Okay. So I think we didn't know because he was interrupted. Certainly if he went and struck, who knows if he would have killed her? He probably would have. But I'd like to see if we could put that to the test and see if he's out there patrolling, looking for people by themselves to kill them, maybe putting them as sacrifices to the Frostmaiden.
So
I'm guessing
who is going to be the person that's going to potentially get stabbed by minion of the Frostmaiden.
Nobody's getting stabbed,
and
but
dying.
that's putting the cart before the horse. Let's first decide if this is a
I'll do
proper form of
No
action.
problem. I'll do it.
But
I'll
do
be
we
your carrot.
before we even say that who's gonna do it? Do we all want to try that? I'm proposing a course of action. If you guys all disagree, then fine. We have further investigating to do. I'm just thinking, let's see if he's an opportunist.
Agreeing to take the actions of your plan is agreeing that somebody could potentially be killed tomorrow night.
Okay. We have one no. We have one no.
See, I'm
It's not,
happy
it's
to
not
do
so
it
much a
because
no, but
I
it's
disagree.
saying
I
that we have
disagree
to.
that I disagree that he was. I disagree he was looking for somebody to kill. I'm not saying he's not a bad guy, but I think it was more just reactionary from Windзira's tell of what happened and her admitting that she was, whatever. And again, OOC, but like I'm assuming that was told. And I mean obviously Rebecca's not here, but
In character, that guy has incredible ears and would have heard a fly buzzing up behind him and would have drawn his sword.
We're assuming a lot here. Certainly, he is perceptive. But if we're on a mission, apparently you're not. You're just here to watch our back. I thought we were all doing this together, but but the point that I'm trying to make is, if we're investigating this murder, how about we try to investigate it? Let's see if stake it out and see if this guy is just trying to kill people that happen to be out by themselves. That's my point. Whether or not he was drawing his sword or if he was taking the opportunity, we could test it out.
And like I said, I'm happy to test that theory. And if you want me to be your carrot, we can go ahead.
If some of you have different ideas or different thoughts on how to check this guy out, I think he warrants some further investigation. Certainly propose it. This is my suggestion.
Yeah, that's what my character says, and then she goes to bed. Good night.
If someone is willing to potentially die tomorrow night, then we can go through with the plan and investigate him further.
I think we should wait on any action and see what happens in the morning. Maybe there will be a genuine victim at that point. But I agree, he deserves further investigation. I'm not sold yet that laying a trap where we could lose party members is the way to go.
I do believe he does. I'm in that same line. Definitely does seem as though somebody that we definitely want to watch closely, but it doesn't. From what was described to me, it doesn't seem as though he was on the prowl per se. If I was on the prowl, I would be in the shadows and trying to find people from the shadows that I could sneak up on and do that. From what you guys said, it doesn't seem as though that was the case.
Okay, well, if that's not the case, anybody have any ideas on what our next steps would be to investigate this guy? Or should
like Donovan said, we could wake up tomorrow morning and there could be a dead body out in the streets.
And I think that would be the better course of the action. Let's just get our sleep, wake up, see what happens. I don't wish ill on anybody in the town to be a victim, but maybe we'll have our solution tomorrow. Maybe there'll be an ice shard there. Maybe there won't. I agree. He's suspicious. 100% agree with you there.
At the very least, we're following him and not Torga anymore.
Yeah, right.
To be honest with you, I believe if there's going to be any dead bodies, it's most likely going to be the night before they leave.
Right.
And they're not planning on leaving tomorrow, so I don't think we're going to find anything tomorrow.
Right. That's a really good point.
Agreed as well. Yeah. I think, look, I'm going to go to bed, my character. I'm just, I think our best bet is to reconvene tomorrow conversationally. So.
Okay.
We can all revisit it with fresh minds tomorrow morning. It's cold. It's late. Some of us have some bit of a buzz going on.
Yeah, and we're missing a party member out of character. So.
Well, Fayette, I think just passed out. She was drunk.
I meant Rebecca.
Oh,
Yeah.
who's Rebecca?
That's
That's what we call
Okay.
you when we forget your name.
yeah.
That's better than Nasty Goblin. Yeah, so thank you.
Oh, nobody would dare call you that with all of us around. That would be, they'd be itching for beating.
All right. I'm done playing her character. And scene. Enough of that.
Yeah.
I can't do it justice.
I wish
Alright.
you guys well, but I'm actually going to depart. My knee's killing me. I'm going to go take some painkillers and go to sleep myself physically. So
Yeah, and Tara had to go because she's got to work.
It
early
seems
in the
like a
morning,
good
too,
breaking point
so-
anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that works well. All right. Well, interesting developments. So,
good night, all.
all right. Thanks, everyone.
Night.
Good night, everyone.